a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do your dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do your dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co.
All right, good morning and welcome in here on this Friday morning as we close out the week here. We close out the 2-week stretch of the transfer portal as today is the final day to enter your name. So if you're interested in entering your name into the transfer portal, today's the last day to do so.
Just go make sure you take a look at your contract.
Yeah. Always look over your contract, and if any of your teammates are willing to share their contract, maybe see what they're getting, you know, if it's fair or not, and then hop in the portal if you need to, because today's your final day.
What happened to loyalty?
What happened to the game I love?
Well, that is, you know.
I mean, there are real arguments.
But I do love this new game as well.
When you're good at it, it's
fun.
fun.
You're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
look,
good morning.
You could play municipal golf, but if you can afford a membership to Augusta, I would pay it.
Of course. If I'm
That's
in
more
that
fun.
tax bracket.
Exactly.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh?
Keep looking under that mattress.
But good morning to all of you. Good morning to everybody in the studio this morning. This is Lloyd, Christian, Pogey, and myself. Pogey's first time on camera.
What's going on?
Hopping in here and Tingle and Co. We appreciate all of you getting in.
What's with the sock hats?
It's
a new thing, I guess.
I guess Pogey followed the trend Lloyd started. I've been on the beanie wave forever.
Okay,
fair enough.
I guess maybe me and you were behind.
Yeah, I think I need to cover this up too. I got a fucking.
You're in the middle of a
transition period,
awkward phase right now.
Transitioning.
Yeah.
I need to start cutting it shorter. It just kind of gets into like this stormtrooper helmet look, and it's no good.
Because sometimes you have your hair longer and it'll look fine, and then you go Buzz and it looks fine. But this right now,
this is Buzz Lightyear written all over it.
And it's right when school's starting too.
Yeah, bad.
Oh, don't worry, I fix it. I get it right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You put a hat on.
Put a little do-rag on before I go.
There you go. Get some waves.
Yeah. It works.
Nice. We appreciate all of you starting your morning with us. Don't forget, every single day, our friends over at FanDuel have joined up to partner with us here. All of 2026, FanDuel is the easiest and the best way to help enjoy a sporting event. Make sure you bet responsibly. But my favorite thing
It's to bet irresponsibly.
is to bet responsibly, 1,000%. But with NBA games, because people talk about the NBA, that the sport's not up to the same level it used to be back in the good old days or whatever. And I get it. It has changed a bunch. But if you want to get invested in a game, FanDuel makes it extremely easy to live bet and stay. They keep it refreshed and live throughout any NBA game that might be on your television. So hop on over at FanDuel, but also make sure you're checking the lines for the college football playoff next Monday, I believe it is. This coming up Monday will be Indiana and Miami. The line's still sitting at 8.5. You've also got playoff football this weekend in the NFL. So make sure you download FanDuel on your phone or just go to the website as FanDuel. They are the best in the business for sure. Glimmer Fredette is socking it today too. So everybody's got a sock hat on besides Christian and myself. I do feel left out. I'll make up for it on Monday. I'll be rocking it. We will have Joe Schwartz in studio, or not in studio, as I believe they are in Norman, Oklahoma. He will not be in studio via Zoom. He will join us at 9 a.m. this morning to preview the matchup with the Sooners this weekend, as the Tigers have another top 15 matchup in front of them. This will be their fourth in the last 5 games, because that is what the SEC is. Old Texas head coach, what's his name, Vic Schaefer? That's what the SEC is. You're going to have to play tough teams. And I believe Texas found that out last night. If I'm not incorrect, I believe they lost. Is that right? Let's see. Did they play? Yeah, they lost to South Carolina 68-65 last night. Madison Booker scored 24, shot 11 of 25. Yeesh. 1 for 1 from the free throw line. But South Carolina grinded it out, won it at home. So Texas obviously was undefeated, number 2, and has traveled on the road, back-to-back games in the conference. Maybe that's why Coach Schaefer was upset and complaining about LSU and South Carolina back-to-back.
2 in a row.
Because you just lost both of them. Sorry, Coach. But LSU versus Oklahoma this weekend, we'll make sure to get you ready for it with Coach Schwartz at 9 a.m. this morning. But as of right now, the talk of the town.
Interesting to see, real quick, South Carolina at home against Texas, tightly contested ball game, shoot 26 free throws while Texas shot 13.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough look. So, there's always some things you can uncover.
So don't just look at the players. Could be the refs, too.
What does that usually tell you in a game? If you see that
Home
coach in your
cooking?
high school team, what does that usually tell you?
What, free throws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's a big discrepancy, it could, you would look at officiating, but sometimes it goes to play style. If one team is playing around the perimeter more, you're going to get more free throws if you attack the rim.
Right.
So if you're going towards the hoop, you're probably going to get more free throws. That's who South Carolina's always been, is a north and south kind of get to the rim, get it to the post, that type of offense. Texas, however, Booker only shooting 1 free throw all game is surprising. But they do, they'll throw it to Oldacre in the middle. You remember big 0-0. But they play perimeter ball a good bit. They've got shooters. So usually if it's – because, that's not as big of a discrepancy. Now, they doubled them up. But there are some times where it's like, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Lou Dort's running over people.
The biggest one I think of is that playoff series between the Spurs and the Grizzlies all those years ago. And in the press conference, the Grizzly coach calls out the referees because the free throws were
Let's get to the LSU football.
You can tell when you're watching the game.
I don't care about the Grizzlies and the Spurs.
When you're watching the game, you can tell, but there are times there are some.
That was meant to be a throwaway comment, not a segment.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin, however, got you started this morning. Day 279. It says, "Life contains within it an invisible fullness, a way of being that puts you in the arena, no longer an idle witness to the happenings around you. This fullness, it's not something you can reach toward. It's something you have to open up inside of you, something that awakens in you after you've been gutted down to your core. You think that any way in which your life has broken your heart has diminished your capacity, when in fact it often heightens it. It is the heart that has lost that knows love. That is terrible. That is the terrible, gorgeous truth of being human. You are grown into more completeness for the ways in which you have been challenged and the ways in which you have been changed. Life enriches itself as it reveals to you its contrast You do not truly appreciate what you have never had to live without, what you have never had to try for. You will never receive answers to the questions you never asked. Amen, Coach Kiffin. We appreciate day 279 there.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah, what book does he go to next when he runs out of days?
I don't know.
She just writes a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a nonsense, but it is. I do think this is maybe Ole Miss. Maybe you should take a page from this book.
There's been many times. I mean, it's funny because I've noticed he doesn't always go in order of the days. There have been times that he's skipped a handful of days, and it looks at what I haven't really kept track of if we're going day by day and in order.
We were during the. He was posting this a lot. During the football season, he was posting this quite a bit. It seems like he's been busier.
Maybe. But do you feel like it feels like they're kind of targeted sometimes? Like you can. Or maybe it's just the way our brains operate when we're reading it through that lens.
It might be if it resonates with him, he posts it.
Mm-hmm. Or he's trolling. Because he put a blue heart with this one.
Nice.
It's not an accident.
Is it a powder blue?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Love you all. Ole Miss and LSU. Yeah. Shout out, Coach.
I love your roster too.
Yeah. I love both rosters.
Yeah, I love you all.
I've built them all.
Yeah.
Let's join up.
Speaking of the LSU roster, they had a new offensive lineman yesterday. Nichols offensive lineman Jamar Jones committed to LSU last night. He's a New Orleans area native, went to Rummel. Shout out to Charles Harvey. He played in 6 games as a freshman last year, so they add another piece to that offensive line room as I believe they're going to continue try to build that up. They've got some offensive line visitors this weekend. So, obviously, still trying to put some more there. They added another piece offensively yesterday, this time a tight end that is Zach Grace, I believe his name is, from Oregon. He is 6'3", 238 pounds, and has been used in multiple roles across his time under Dan Lanning. And when you look into this one, to me, this is your inline blocker. This is to add to... you've brought in the one tight end. What Thomas was his last name. He's more of an athletic receiving tight end, kind of like, not kind of like Trey'Dez Green. He's different than Trey'Dez Green because Trey'Dez Green is one of one. But you did still want your physical tight end to have on the line of scrimmage, and that's what Grace has done at Oregon. He's played some fullback. He's been an inline blocker. He's done it all, and he'll be big, strong, physical, and a nice addition to that room to give them some depth at tight end, but also just something a little bit different than the 6'7" monster they're going to throw it up to in Trey'Dez Green. Last night, LSU baseball, I tell you what, every time I see the images from the first pitch banquet, it just, I don't know, it never fails to, not really, the word's not surprise, but I'm in awe every time. When I look at just the people, the supporters, the crowd, just the buy-in from everyone around this program and the excitement that LSU baseball brings, it never fails to put a shocked look on my face, I guess you could say, because look at that. I mean,
yeah.
If there was more room, they would sell more tables.
100%. Mm-hmm. And at some point, they're going to have to think about expanding.
Where do you go?
I don't know.
That's why it's in here to begin with. It's
right.
Like the biggest room you can get.
You're just going to have to do it on the field in Death Valley. Tiger Stadium.
The first time that would be full for a male sport.
There you go. But, I mean, look at that crowd. And if you click through, you'll see the greatest baseball coach in the sport up there on stage talking to everybody. They also have the boys hopping up on stage, Jake Brown, Stephen Milam, Zach Cowan, Chris Stanfield, some national champions. Are you counting those trophies?
That trophy up there is such a flex.
It's unbelievable.
It's hilarious.
Yep, and have room for one more, always.
Always.
There the fellas.
There's the fellas right there. It looks like some national champions to me.
Yes, they all are.
Right? It looks like 5 national champions on that stage right there.
5.
How about that?
1-2 time.
Ready for LSU baseball to get here as we are a little under 1 month away from first pitch for Jay Johnson and company. It's going to be an exciting baseball season. But 2 claps to last night, Jay Johnson, the fellas, and the entire room that was filled to the gills. 2 claps. Ready.
Because this is the last hurrah for celebrating
It is.
the national championship.
Because now you turn the page.
I believe Jake Brown said, what is it like going into the 2026 season with a target on your back? He said, you play as if you are the number 1 team in the country because you are, but you work like you're the number 2 team in the country.
Come on.
That. Love that. If you can
that's the thing-
brainwash Jake Brown,
Right.
you get everybody.
That's what I was about. And that's because that is one of my favorite things about Jay Johnson is the mindset he's always been able to instill, right, in his roster and the players. And that's what's special about this team is you have guys like a Jake Brown, a Stephen Miles, who have been there for 3 years. Their freshman year, they get to play a good bit, right? Mom started all year. But they're disappointed. They lose. So they've seen both sides of the ticket. They've raised the trophy. They've lost in a regional. And so it's not, they're not going to be, they know how it feels to lose. They know how it feels to not be the hunted and be the hunter. And so now the mindset that I know Jay Johnson's going to be able to instill in them is going to be exciting to watch, 100%. But the talk of the town right now is still LSU football. And that's because Lane Kiffin and LSU are, if you were doubting them being the villains or the bad guy, they're 1,000% the villains and bad guy in Ole Miss's story. If Ole Miss was to make a movie, LSU would be...
It would be about LSU?
It would be about LSU. Because for some reason, it won't stop. But Lane Kiffin, LSU, still the talk of the town. And this was a tweet put out by John Tweet Sports. And really, to me, all this picture, this was Ben Garrett. And this is if you have On 3, and I think this one might be a free article.
It is.
Because they, that's how desperately they want everyone
That people
to read
have to
this.
know.
This one's going to be free, guys. We're not going to charge for this one because the world needs to see what's going on.
You don't put Paul Revere behind a paywall.
Yeah. And then, Lloyd, the one that says, welcome to college football in the document. That's all it is to me. This is maybe to some people a problem, some people not. To me, it's the sport that the game is now. It's just this is what college football is. It starts with a tweet that says Lane Kiffin will never win a championship at LSU. And then Princely Umanmielen, not to be confused with Prince Will Umanmielen, 2 different players. Princely played for Lane at Ole Miss earlier in his Ole Miss tenure. But he says he might F around and win one
Fuck around.
in year 1. There you go. And then you see in the next slide, Prince Will Umanmielen is staying home in 2026. This is announced on January 5th, as you can see there to the top right. Follow that with yesterday, Ole Miss star edge Prince Will Umanmielen plans to enter the NCAA transfer portal. So in that's a 10-day stretch from January 5th to January 15th. Prince Will now is not re-signing. Instead, he's going to the transfer portal. And then the next slide is Lane Kiffin yesterday at about 8:30 p.m. retweeting Princely's post from November and saying rat poison.
Rat poison.
Because that's who my head coach is. But really, on the Prince Will Umanmielen deal, this is the sport, right? Walter Mathis at LSU. It's announced by LSU he's re-signing. 4 days later, he's in the portal, right? And I think he might end up at Auburn. Damon Williams, right? We saw how it played out. He has re-signed with Washington. It was signed the dotted line. It was done, announced by the school. Obviously, it was done because he went back because of the contract. But then he enters the transfer portal 2 days later. And you look at what's now going on in Oxford, it is more of that. It's more of the same. It's what's happening to other people as well. It is not just Ole Miss. So if Ole Miss and their fan base could just look around for a moment, they would then realize it's not just a U thing. It's happening at many different schools. LSU, like I said, for example, Walter Mathis Jr. was announced by LSU on their Twitter page, much like these staying home posts, that he was coming back to LSU. 4 days later, on 3, Hayes Fawcett, Walter Mathis has entered his name in the transfer portal. It's happening to everybody.
And to take it a step farther, even players that have made an impact for LSU, Bud Mathis, obviously a young player that has
played a good bit last year.
Played a good bit and was not, but it wasn't to the effect of a Trades Green, a Harlan Berry. Trades Green was clearly getting courted even after he was announced returning to LSU.
Right.
So we announced again that he's coming back to LSU because there was a serious push made by, I believe it was Oregon, to try to get Trades Green, the big bag, to go over to Oregon. So LSU counters our offer and has to once again announce, because now it's officially official that he's coming back to LSU. And so, yes, if Oregon can say, oh, he was announced, and this is the same thing that goes back to when LSU was trying to maybe grab Williams, it wouldn't have been, like Devon Williams, the quarterback, not necessarily illegal, and everybody wanted to yell tampering from the rooftops.
Right.
But, yeah, it is what it is. This is the game that you're playing. LSU unsuccessful, Oregon unsuccessful.
Right. It's the sport. Like, it really is as simple as that. That's just – and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, right? I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that you have announcements. Like, I don't like that I'm seeing on LSU's Twitter, this guy's staying, and then 4 days later I might see him in the portal. Like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But at some point you've got to understand – it's the sport.
Yeah, it's just the day and age of college football now.
It's just where you're at.
Well, this is what happens when you have what seems to be a professional sports operation running as if there's no guardrails or anything to keep it professional.
Right.
So there's no timeline for free agency necessarily. There's no, hey, we actually have a contract. Like, you don't see the NFL operating under this, having this problem, because it all happened very quickly. And even this year, I would say this has been the biggest example of, it's only getting wilder, as opposed to like water finds its level. It's the water's still coming in, and people are sinking and swimming. And if you have how this is going, like, this is the first year that we've seen graphics about a player has re-signed.
Right.
And it's like, they used to just assume that he's coming back or you hit the portal.
Now
it's like, no, you have to make sure that people know that he's re-signed. And it's like, so you're seeing the tides of change and how it's happening. This is just another example of 2027 will be different as well. I don't know what they're going to do if they just let it operate this way, because like I said, I do believe that college football and the powers that be love this. You're still talking about college football, and it's carrying you through a dead period where it should be a national championship. Like, people forgot about the game because of the transfer portal.
Well, and there's other sports being played that are not being spoken about.
And you're dominating the headlines.
So why they're not really going to be that upset about it, because they're still it's the NFL playoffs, the college football national championship, basketball's going into conference play for men's and women's, the whole thing.
And you're talking about,
it is still the transfer portal is the talk of the town. And in an article by Ben Garrett over on the On3 site, the one that we had featured right there earlier, that is free. Like I said, it is free. I'll read you some of it, but you can go check it out on your own, because everyone needs to see this. No paywall on this one. There are a couple of just excerpts I'm going to read here. He says, Lacey re-signed with Ole Miss, so did Principal Uman Mielen, but late Thursday night, Uman Mielen entered the portal anyway. Sources indicate Ole Miss intends to hold him to his contract. What does that actually mean? No one is entirely sure, and no one operates more comfortably in the gray than Kiffin. And that is where that quote fires me up. Because whether I like the way the sport is going or not, LSU has a coach that operates extremely well where there's a line to toe or gray area, like Garrett says, or just the fact that he has to adapt. And it's the mindset of, okay, if you're not going to stop this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If you've got no answers or no reasons why I can't, then I'm going to.
He's a Riddler.
Until you stop the fake injuries to slow down tempo, I'm going to abuse it. And so until this problem is solved, what's truly stopping me and my program from taking advantage of it? And the reason Ole Miss fans are upset about that is because this would be them if they still had their coach.
Yep.
But they don't, because LSU wanted him, so LSU got it. He continues on to say, contracts in college football are supposed to matter until they don't. Enforcement is murky, precedent is thin, and deterrence is almost non-existent. That's the space Kiffin is attacking. And I'll read that, and then I will ask everyone in the room, is that a problem? LSU glasses off. Contracts in college football are supposed to matter until they don't. Enforcement is murky, precedent is thin, and deterrence is almost non-existent, and that's the space Kiffin is attacking. Is it wrong to attack that space if there's no guardrails or rubric or
Someone's got to play the villain.
laws?
Someone's got to act as the Riddler.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly what like the Riddler does in Batman movies. He's playing this in college football. I see nothing wrong with it. You need a villain.
Yeah, I think you just need somebody who can, like, somebody's going to go and make that move. Like, if Kiffin isn't the one who's doing it, somebody else is going to
Right.
go out there and do it. So it's like, I mean, you're in a situation where you have the most money and you have the biggest brand. Honestly, you might as well go out there and use your
Use it
advantages.
yeah, exactly, because it really is. If it wasn't Lane Kiffin, it would be somebody else. And if
Right.
it was somebody else, I don't think it would be as prevalent
I agree.
and as covered or as vilified as it is because it's Lane Kiffin. If it was another coach doing it, if it was
Right.
Dan Lanning, like, oh, look, he's at Oregon.
He's using his
He
resources.
uses every resource he can use. Like, this is what you do to build a program now in the day and age of the transfer portal and NIL. If it wasn't Lane Kiffin, it would be, this is very interesting in the direction the sport's going now. He's cheating. And it's like, no, there's no rules. And once you operate under that pretense, like, I can't cheat.
Right.
And then it's it's the same type of thing with Texas Tech. Like, Texas Tech has all this money
Right.
and they're just spending it.
Right.
And they're offering bags to literally everyone. Like, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Because, like you said, there is no rules. And they're trying, you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to be that top team. Like, they're trying to be the Indiana.
Right.
Like, that's what they want to do. So, I mean,
You can see how much it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
How you can go from
Right.
Indiana being literally not a team you've ever talked about in college football, and the same thing with Texas Tech. Like, you knew it existed, but it wasn't. They're going to be the number one team in the country and go to the college football playoff in 1 year because we have all of this oil money, nowhere to really spend it because it's unlimited. And one person that went to Texas Tech and played football there sells his oil field for $5 billion and goes, "I want to help the football team." That's just what it is. Now, is this sustainable? I don't know. People are going to make money every year.
Right.
And some people are going to make a lot more than others, and what they choose to do with it is not up to me. But if they love their university and their alma mater, and that's what they choose to do with it,
So
who
be
am I
it.
to stop them?
Right. And until there are rules, because this, and here's another quote. Because Garrett continues on in this, and he talks about Devin Harper, TJ Daugherty, how Harper had re-upped with the new staff, but he's visiting LSU, and Daugherty never signed a new deal. They'd been negotiating it. He entered the portal as well. He continues on. He says, things shifted this week, and only after Kiffin leaked contract details through agents connected to Ole Miss transfer signees, now through Daugherty and others, Kiffin is making a run at Harper and Uman Mielen. Excuse me. He continues. He says, he's fighting dirty, and he's banking on no one stopping him. An Ole Miss source, via Garrett, says, the Rebels are in hand-to-hand combat with Kiffin and LSU. Interesting line that I want to talk about in this is that, and he's banking on no one stopping him.
And we brought a knife.
Right. He's banking on no one stopping him. Well, who is going to stop him? Is it going to be the NCAA? I don't think so. Is it going to be Greg Sankey? Maybe. Who is it going to be? Right? But until there is some reason to not do it, why would you not do
Right.
it?
It just doesn't.
And Ole Miss, they can continue to play the woe is me, bad guy over there. He's the reason everything's wrong with us. You can do that all you want. But it's a new era of college football. And us, and now to remove the Ole Miss from it, and just as an LSU fan, reading this, you can't not be excited for where the program is right now.
Yeah.
Because things are constantly changing. There are constantly loopholes and strategies and ways to be successful that might not be there next year. Damon Williams is a great example. Why did he not end up at LSU? Because his contract kept him at Washington. Because you'd have had to pay them $4 million for him to leave. So to me, if these Ole Miss players can leave, you obviously didn't do a very good job writing the contract, because we've seen it, we've witnessed it with Miami and Oregon and LSU looking at Damon Williams. Well, he had to stay with Washington because his contract wouldn't let him leave. So Ole Miss, do a better job writing your contracts, maybe. Because we've witnessed this almost happen, but it didn't because of a contract. And so maybe there's some adjustments that can be made on your side. It's going to continue to change, but where LSU fans should find joy in being the bad guy is you're the bad guy because your coach is willing to attack where the sport is broken. Where there are cracks in the rule book, you're willing to toe the line a little bit. You know who did that pretty well for a long time?
Every rich person ever.
Every rich
Nick
person
Saban.
ever, and Nick Saban did it for decades. And he's the greatest football coach ever because guess what? He knew where to leverage the sport, where to play his hand, where to poke and prod, what to do, how to handle it. And whenever it became not as easy, and I'm not saying Nick just up and bail, he also was old and the sport had changed. It wasn't as easy for him to operate in the gray area he had operated in when the sport had shifted. One thing Lane Kiffin's been really good at is adapting to the shifts and the changes. And that's where LSU sits right now, is they sit with a head coach that is willing and intelligent enough to adapt and to maneuver and to find ways to be successful in whatever era it is. And so Ole Miss can blame and do the whole woe is me deal as much as they want. Do you want to be successful in college football or not? You can try to guilt trip LSU fans. And this is my pitch to LSU fans. And I know they're not being guilt tripped because they're constantly pushing back and clapping back at Ole Miss fans online. It's okay to be the villain, especially when you're the villain because you're finding ways to be successful. When your head coach is hopping on a plane and ruining another visit, right after a quarterback leaves Tennessee before he goes to Miami, you have an impromptu visit in the Knoxville airport.
Shows how much
Because
he
who
cares.
says he can't?
Mm-hmm.
The only time it's not the only time you can talk to Sam Levitt's when he's on LSU's campus. Now, if that was a rule, then it's a rule. But it's not. So what did he do? He got on a plane, he flew to the airport, he met with him there, and guess what? Sam Levitt was the quarterback for LSU a week later. It's a new day in the sport, and LSU has a coach that is willing to push, toe the line, find the ways to maneuver, operate in the gray area, and be successful.
And I think it's suffice to say that maybe if you treated him a little bit better, a little bit more respect, maybe he doesn't come just after you. But that's neither. I mean, Ole Miss, you could say, did this to themselves with the way that they have vilified Lane Kiffin. As soon as he was announced as LSU's head coach, it was get out the building, leave your shit at the airport, all of these things that are like, okay, you do know this is what they were terrified of, and that's why he didn't get to coach into the college football playoff, and it happened anyway. Like, you don't have to be in the building to make contact with the players when it's the transfer portal.
And honestly,
So if you had not done this, maybe they stay at Ole Miss. Maybe he doesn't make a concerted effort to go get the players that
Yeah,
guess
the
who
extra
recruited
effort.
him? He did. Like, those are
his guys.
those are his players. And so it doesn't matter if they went to the school, if they want to follow their coach, they're more than welcome to make that decision. And but I say, if it had been a much more amicable breakup, maybe he's not, you know what I want to do?
possibly.
But here
But
we are.
To me, even Ole Miss in all of these coaching changes has been the program that's done.
They did this to themselves.
Well, not even that, has been in the best spot from a roster retention standpoint. Like, even with these handful of guys sprinkling in, they've done a pretty good job compared to, North Texas to Oregon State or USF to Auburn. All these other roster changes where coaches are going from one school to the next. Ole Miss hasn't lost all that much of their roster.
No, they haven't.
If I'm going to be honest, they've done a pretty good job at retaining guys that you would assume would be up and out of there. Deuce Alexander, the kicker, Kejuan Lacey, Trinidad Chambliss in the waiver deal, whatever. They've held on to these pieces, potentially. Right? It seems like it. At one point, Devin Harper, Prince Wu Monmielen, TJ Dottery, all those guys, but now they're entering.
It's now looking worse because they have lost a wide receiver. They've lost those two guys yesterday. They've lost their future quarterback in Austin Simmons. So I think early on, yeah, but I think now it's kind of.
But I would say if you still compared it to some of the other,
like
Iowa
Texas,
State's entire roster is going to Penn State.
Yeah.
Right. The recruiting. That Ole Miss had done a decent job, and compared to some of the other changes, had been in a pretty good spot compared to it.
And that's the same thing with USF too. USF's entire roster is
Is that
just
Auburn?
going to Auburn,
Right?
Yeah.
And so Ole Miss, honestly,
Penn State to Virginia Tech.
right? All the LSU is tampering. Like, really? I mean, as of right now, where it stands, one Ole Miss player has gone to LSU, and Winnie Watkins. That's the only one that's committed or signed, right?
Yeah.
Has there been another Ole Miss to LSU?
No, and
player?
you've
Not
had
yet.
No, but that's where I think this is what makes this very. But I guess this is what the hand wringing and the frustration is for. Is what day does the transfer portal close?
Today.
When they announced they're maybe
Yesterday.
looking at not a whole lot of time to be able to.
Right.
And that's where they get the tampering allegations. Like, oh, they left on the last day or
Right.
announced, and it seems like they. Where else would they go? Who would do this? How did this get leaked?
Oh, it's the easiest. I mean,
And sometimes the most obvious thing is
is the right answer.
Is the right answer. Occam's razor, but that's unfortunate. But sometimes people are just better at the game than you, and if that's the case, and you have contracts that got exposed because you were so desperate to be able to keep players on your roster, and then also add more players to your roster, and you looked at the deals and go, how do we move this money around to make it make sense? Because maybe the Grove Collective doesn't have as much as we thought. Now players are getting paid more than other players that were better, and it's like, oh, I feel disrespected. So now you don't really have much time to go to the drawing board, but you knew you were playing a dangerous game. It's almost unbelievable this didn't happen earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you have players that have been so like, how much are you getting? It's like, either I don't talk about it or you're going to find out pretty quickly. You can't hide money.
It was one of the first pushbacks against NIL.
Yeah.
Was
What's it gonna do to the locker room?
What is the starting linebacker going to think about the starting corner getting $5 million a year, and they're only getting $600,000? Like that was one of the, and we were talking about that in 2022, and so it's crazy that it's never really
Popped up
in this manner until now.
Well, and it becomes a test of, like, this is you're operating in poor faith. You're not honoring the guy for action in the era in which everybody's leaving.
Right.
You have a 2-year player that's been at Ole Miss and been committed, going on a year 3. It's like, oh, just re-sign the contract. There's no, hey, maybe we should pay you more, because if this does happen wherever we're in the transfer portal, we're going to get another linebacker that was at a different school that is portal hopping, and we have to pay him 1.5, but this guy stayed, he gets 800, and it's like, well, he's been loyal to the team. Like, you have to know that this could happen, and you should reward the loyalty as opposed to going out and just we have to pay him X amount because that's the going rate. And that's what happens with competition in a market like this. It's this volatile.
Well, and do we think genuinely that this is the first time that Lane Kiffin has ever operated in this manner and handled things like this?
No, I bet.
But it's the first time that he's done it in an LSU quarter zip or hoodie than a powder blue red Ole Miss hoodie. That's the biggest change, right? And so, look, I think when with where LSU is right now, and one thing that it's been fun to watch is the excitement around Kiffin. You always knew was going to be there, but this new role that LSU's operating under now, this new light that LSU's being viewed under now, which is, in my opinion, not going to last all that long. Because once you start winning, and you remember, LSU's pretty cool, right? It's always been one of the coolest brands in the sport. People are going to start worshiping and loving and enjoying LSU again for what it is. But as of right now, you're the villain. And it's been cool to witness and watch the fan base embrace it. Because for the time being, that's who you're going to be. Anytime something with the sport looks wrong, the finger's going to be pointed at LSU and Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Especially from our buddies right down the street in Oxford, Mississippi. Anytime something wrong happens there for the next 10 years. So be prepared for the next decade. Every time Ole Miss loses a game or loses a player or anything wrong happens, it's because of what Lane Kiffin did.
Somebody's got to be the bad man.
Right.
Somebody's got to be the problem.
And then anytime they win a game or recruit a top player or do anything right, it's going to be, we didn't need him. So just be ready. Because that's how it's going to operate for the next decade.
I think also LSU is going to be seen in a different light, not just because they're likable, but what was the whole conjecture around Lane Kiffin leaving? It was like he's leaving a national championship team for a roster and a team that's in a worse spot,
right?
And a program that is in a worse spot. So Ole Miss is obviously the better program. Well, Lane Kiffin's going to be able to prove that within the next 2-3 years, even next year. So that the national media is going to switch up on Ole Miss, and it'll be just Ole Miss crying wolf.
Well, this is why they are crying so loudly. They're starting to realize, like, it was Portal Pete, right? It was Lane Kiffin didn't do any of this. Look at the run we're going on the national championship. We didn't need him, and now
he's posting land shark emojis for players staying.
Well, not only that, you're starting to see just how much Lane Kiffin did, and they don't want to recognize it, and then so we might be returning back to what Ole Miss was pre-Lane Kiffin.
Yeah,
and so of course they're going to hate him.
Baseball.
Because he built it left, and now he's tearing it down.
Yes.
And they don't know what to do because that man that was responsible for what he did at Ole Miss, you were bitching then whenever he was doing the same thing. And now that it's happening to you, it's what's happening, and you did this.
Well, it's a big brother and a little brother going out, in the driveway and playing basketball against each other for years, right? And big brother always dominated. But then there was this one time where big brother got to college, put on the freshman 15, maybe wasn't in as good a shape, and little brother
kept working,
started to pick it up a little bit. And for a couple of years there, little brother started to fight back and win a couple of games and battle back and forth. Big brother got pissed off about it, and so then big brother got back in better shape, and stole whatever method little brother was doing that made them so successful, and now for the rest of their lives is going to beat up
little brother essentially lost like an arm.
Little brother's being shoved back into the locker that they belong in, while big brother's going to just enjoy and bask in victory.
Little brother is still using the old moves that big brother taught. Big brother went away, learned some new moves, came back to the driveway. It's like, I didn't know you could play like this. Like, yeah, you don't know how to do this like I do.
This is me.
Right.
I made you.
Yes.
I built you.
I'm not here to teach you.
I know you're going to cross over and spin. I
taught
told you
you
that
that.
when you were 10.
Foul!
That's what now they're crying foul.
Shut up. Mom.
Yeah.
No.
They're trying to find mommy,
But
because you lost daddy.
Yeah, but his daddy's over here, buddy.
Yeah, he's having your dad. That daddy's having a beer in the driveway. if I know anything or have seen anything. In fact,
Daddy's Nick Saban.
Yeah.
But no, Lloyd, you're like if you think that he wasn't doing the exact same stuff over at Ole Miss, you're crazy. And he's just got more opportunities over here and more support, honestly, from a bigger fan base and a bigger program.
Bigger budget.
Yeah, it just makes, like, what do you think's going to happen?
Why do you think he left?
He's got more
He's
guns
got more
now.
opportunity at LSU to do exactly what he's
Right.
doing because his methods work, and it was not very easy to do at Ole Miss. He still was able to do it. Now at LSU, this is why he listed the opportunity. He said it. He's like, I can't wait to get on the phone right now because he knows what he can sell at LSU, and this is why Ole Miss is perennially pissed because everything that you knew was true about LSU and Ole Miss and which programs you're seeing it happen in real time, and you had convinced yourself that we're equals. If you're Ole Miss or if you're LSU, Ole Miss thought they could play in this arena because they had been able to be built up.
They were overachieving.
And it wasn't Ole Miss was not the reason for your success. Lane Kiffin was the reason for your success, and this is a harsh reality to learn in real time as everything that you look at is falling apart. You lost your quarterback. You're losing players into the portal on the last day, some of which are from Louisiana. Shocking, I know.
You lost your head coach.
You lost your head coach, but you may have won the battle early. Whatever, you're like, oh, let's go get Austin Thomas and Frank Wilson and throw them on the sideline. Let's go get our coaches to coach for the college football playoff. All well and good. Ole Miss was doing great. They did good in the portal. You got to win the war,
Right.
and it feels like LSU is now making a move to win the war.
And I'm not saying that Lane Kiffin is leaking the contracts and is doing all of the. I have no inside source on any side of if that's actually what's happening.
I hope it is.
My feeling is, if it is, who's gonna stop it? Who's gonna make it not happen? Why wouldn't somebody handle things in that gray area? And until it gets solved, because in my opinion, it needs to be solved. There needs to be rules. There needs to be a structure. There needs to be somebody that can say, hey, that shouldn't happen. And you saw it in Washington with the contract they laid out for Damon Williams. I'm going to use Miami as an example because it was also Miami, not just LSU. Couldn't get him from Washington because it would have been $4 million on top of the $6 million you had to pay him. Because they did a good job doing what? Structuring the contract.
Well, and they had the conference involved. This is what happens when you operate in the arena in which Ole Miss is, when it's the Grove Collective. It's not really the SEC money. The SEC isn't tied into any of these contracts of the players that are being offered different money. And it's not Lane's fault that he has knowledge of the contracts they signed last year. He has a brain and a memory, and he was there. He inked the deals. So... oh, maybe I do remember that. Maybe I do have some old pieces of paper with, like, how much is TJ Daugherty making what they pay him last year? Oh, they're going to pay him the same thing? Well, money went up over here. And I actually know what they offered JT Lindsey. So that's what happens whenever you start meandering with LSU players and you think, what'd you give Carius Kern?
Nope.
Oh, I know what we were paying him at LSU. And now you think that's going to fly with TJ Daugherty, that was your best player on defense last year, arguably, and now you're going to play an offensive lineman from LSU because you wanted to, out of spite, get him away from LSU, but now you've pissed off your returning starters at Ole Miss because you may have paid too much for him, and now they know. Lane Kiffin is the one that has all of this information.
Yep.
What he chooses to do with it is up to him.
And it has been enjoyable to see because I don't remember, and I'm not saying they're wrong, I don't remember ever seeing a crumble like this.
Ever.
A freak out, a crash out from a fan base in the manner in which we've witnessed it.
And
I'm not saying they're wrong because to be in their shoes, it probably sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it's a bad spot to be in. I don't feel bad for them, but I do acknowledge that it's a tough situation.
But just seeing how crazy it's gone from the start of when it was like,
Right.
oh, he might be the head coach of LSU, to, oh, Lane Kiffin's hired, to now all this mess. It's crazy.
To the Ole Miss Florida game of the we want Kiffin chance from Ole Miss fans to a month later, we actually hate him and he's the worst person ever.
And he was
like
no
Pete.
good at it.
You know, he actually didn't do anything, and look at all these DMs and pictures and screenshots. Right, it changes quickly. TJ Daugherty, when he was about to re-sign, probably 2 weeks ago, look how important he is to our defense and how big of a deal it is that they're going to get him to return, and then he enters the portal, and it's actually look at what he did when his name was this, and this is all. He's a terrible player, and we actually don't want anything to do with him. Prince Will Uman Miel, and he's a huge piece of this roster, and it's of the utmost importance to get him back to be successful for Ole Miss in 2026. Actually, we don't need him. He sucks, right? And look, everybody does it. You know, like every fan base, when a player is on your roster, you love him. When they leave, you hate them, right? It's a normal thing that happens. You know, but it's been very interesting to watch it play out on the public scale at which it's played out, just in front of everybody. In about 5 minutes, we're going to be joined by Joe Schwartz, LSU women's basketball assistant coach, as the Tigers have, like I said earlier, their fourth top 15 matchup in the last 5 games. That is the SEC. They started SEC play with 2 losses to top 15 teams who became top 10 teams after the wins. And then they beat a one-loss Georgia, who was unranked. Obviously, a huge win versus Texas last Sunday. It's been their long bye week, and they've got a big matchup in Norman against Oklahoma and the Sooners, as they are looking to bounce back from 2 straight conference losses that they've had over the last couple of weeks. LSU women's basketball right now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th best odds at a women's basketball national championship in 2026 via our friends over at FanDuel, with the odds sitting at plus 1,600. UConn is the favorite at minus 210. Wow. South Carolina plus 750, UCLA plus 850, Texas plus 900, and then LSU right there at plus 1,600 before a huge dip to Michigan plus 8,000. So LSU obviously still one of the top teams in the nation, and you will see them on the big screen against Oklahoma on Sunday. We're going to take a quick break here, come right back, and get you ready for the Tigers versus the Sooners on Sunday with LSU women's basketball coach Joe Schwartz right after this.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
All right, welcome back here as it is hour number 2 on this Friday morning. Make sure you like, subscribe. When we close it off this morning, leave a comment for us. It always helps. And make sure you share it with your friends and family. Get them to like and subscribe as well. As in very soon, we're going to be joined by our guy, Joe Schwartz, LSU women's basketball assistant coach, as they have a top 15 matchup, like I said, against Oklahoma. Coming up this weekend to try to stay hot. You know, they had a rough start to the SEC season, but they look to continue their 2-0 run since the 0-2 start with wins over Georgia and Texas, with a win this Sunday against Oklahoma, who is one of the best teams in the country and has gone on a recent skid as they've lost their last 2 SEC games, I believe. And they've also got a tough stretch ahead. I think they play LSU this weekend and then South Carolina after as well, just like Texas just did. So it's not just you, Texas. It is everybody. And Texas obviously went 0-2 in that stretch, traveling to Baton Rouge, and then Columbia, South Carolina. But it'll be a big matchup this weekend as the Tigers look to stay hot, and we are going to get you ready for it as Coach Schwartz is going to preview the here he is.
Oh, set up a Zoom link.
Oh, we're good.
Oh, yeah, in person.
I didn't know if you were going to be in Norman or not.
No, not yet.
When do we roll out?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow a.m. But here he is. Coach has made his way in studio. As the Tigers get ready for a big-time matchup this weekend. Coach, good morning. Thank you for making some time for us.
Good morning. Another fun week.
Yeah. How was the bye week? The break, no midweek game, going from Sunday to Sunday to get ready for this weekend.
It was good. It's always nice to get a couple days off, but it's almost like pulling teeth getting it out of them when you get back on the court on Wednesday or Tuesday. Sorry. Wait. We played Sunday. Actually, we were off Monday, Tuesday, and then back on the court Wednesday. Now, when you say off days, it's not just completely off. Like, we do strength and conditioning stuff with our strength coach. They probably work out on their own. Just no practice. But that first day back at practice Wednesday, you got to refocus, start preparing for the next team. And really Wednesday we focused a lot on us. Watched a lot of film from the Texas game, and as good as we thought we looked, there's still a lot of room for improvement. So that's positive after a big win, knowing that you can get a lot better. Sometimes after those wins, things don't surface and you continue to, I don't want to say create bad habits, but allow yourself to get away with little things like turnovers. We only had 16. Our goal is less than 17. Well, if you really break it down, we should have had about 8 or 9.
Right.
But as long as we're learning and growing from wins, I think that's good. And we did that Wednesday. And then yesterday we were on the court for a little bit longer just because Thursday is normally our game day during the week. So it's not Coach's first rodeo. She knows what she's doing when it comes to quote-unquote bye weeks. And then threw in a little bit of extra conditioning at the end to kind of simulate some game-like play. And we'll practice today and then hop on a flight to Norman tomorrow morning and practice there and then game Sunday.
Before we really dive into it, for you personally, right, matchup with Oklahoma, both from the LSU perspective of wanting to win as a coach for the staff, but also a former Longhorn. It's kind of a double motivation for the matchup this weekend for you personally, right?
Oh yeah, I don't like Oklahoma. I don't like A&M.
Right.
I don't like Auburn.
Yeah.
There's a couple schools in the SEC.
Go ahead and throw Ole Miss in that bucket now too.
I guess Ole Miss. I really don't like.
Yeah.
I've had some tough ones up at Norman. One of the years I was in college, Buddy Hield hit a buzzer beater 3 against us. I've gotten hit by beer bottles thrown at me walking off the court. Norman's an interesting place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of OU. Obviously, having gone to Texas, everyone knows that Texas and OU don't really get along well.
Yeah.
There's that Red River rivalry that takes place in football, but it flows over to basketball, to baseball. It's just one of those things that it's healthy for the sport, but when you're in the thick of it, you need a bulletproof vest and a helmet to make sure you get out of there alive. But I'm excited for it. The game's sold out, which is really cool. I actually read the last time it was sold out, or 2 times ago. They've been sold out twice since what will happen on Sunday, but was when Kim went, I think in like 2009 or something. So it's been a long time since that place has been sold out for a women's game. But it's exciting. It shows that, the SEC has some really good teams, but when LSU comes to town, the house is going to be packed. So I don't want to say a little bit of extra motivation, but it would nice to be able to get out of there with a big win.
100%. Talking about this past week, obviously a young team, right? Obviously you have the experience of some of those the older players, but still a young team especially with those freshmen. Is it tough in a week like what this past week was, coming off of a big win that was such an emotional high in the PMAC against a top 2 team, going into a bye week where they have some days off? What is y'all's mindset as a coaching staff to get them dialed back in, and is it maybe a little bit more difficult this past week, or what did you see from that perspective?
I think we talk about it a lot when it comes to ourselves, because that's really what it is. It's not about other teams in this league. We know how good other teams in this league are, but we want to celebrate wins. But at the same time, like we talked about a couple days ago, we expect to win. And after a big win, unless it's the last game of the season, cutting down a net, you've got to be able to dial it back in. Mm-hmm. And I think that was what was so important with Coach's message and the whole coaching staff's message after the win against Texas. Like, we're going to celebrate this. We're going to enjoy it. But if what we did against Texas still seems big, then we haven't done much today. So getting back onto the court and really locking in on execution, on taking care of the basketball, on rebounding, doing it on the court kind of helps with that refocus, so to speak. Rather than sitting in a film room and telling them, hey, we need to focus on this, we need to focus on this, let's go out and do it. Let's do it against our practice guys. Let's do it against each other in practice. So I think having a little bit of extra time on the practice court, not having to just quickly turn around and focus on an opponent, so to speak, really helped us and will continue to help us. Because, like I said, Wednesday was a lot of us. We focused on us in the film room, did a little bit on Oklahoma. But at the same time, while we're preparing for Oklahoma, we're preparing for the rest of the season. Because in this SEC, there's a lot of teams that are like Oklahoma. Very good, can score the ball, so we've got to get better on the defensive end. We'll get into it in a little bit probably, but Oklahoma is a little bit different matchup than a Texas or a Vanderbilt or a Kentucky. So being able to shift focus to style of play was important this week, but I think as big as the Texas win was, I think we've moved past that. I think we saw it last night, and I guess I don't really get to do it that often because we're always playing. But it was fun last night to just sit back and watch a bunch of games. The Texas-South Carolina game, Kentucky-Florida, Vanderbilt-Mississippi State, and then the late night, Auburn beats Alabama. So there's a lot of shakeup in this league. It's like every night you're going to have good matchups. So being able to watch some of those was fun. But I think the biggest thing when it comes to refocusing after a big win is focus on us first. And then we can start to focus on the other teams we play.
Because this is setting up for, obviously it feels it's like the tail end of the first real stretch you've had in SEC play where you played number 12 Kentucky, number 11 Vanderbilt, you had Georgia, which sets you up for number 2 Texas, now number 13 Oklahoma. So it's almost like the back end of the first SEC stretch and the kind of like introduce yourself to the conference and, like you said, a lot of shakeup. But it does feel like you want to finish this thing on a high note because of where you both sit in the standings. This could be a real... It's almost like a prove-it game because of the 0-2 start, and now you've battled back to 2-2. If you get to 3-2, you start approaching that, I guess, top tier of the SEC in terms of where you are in the bracket.
No doubt.
So I think that's the same thing that Oklahoma is doing. But if you get through this one, then you have, a chance to exhale a little bit when you have A&M Florida, Arkansas, then it picks back up again. But it feels like this is the last game that you really need it. Like, please focus on this one, and then we can kind of take a breath and reevaluate where we are.
I think you're right. Coach talked about it from the jump on New Year's Day. She said, guys, first 5 games, let's see what we can do and challenge the kids. Like, we knew what we were about to face. And to come out of there unscathed would have been awesome. Right. It would have been great to be 5-0 after these 5 games. But in this conference, that's very, very tough to do. Now, dropping one on our home court, we didn't feel like we should have. But honestly, I don't know if we beat Texas had we have won those first 2. We weren't tough enough those first 2 games to get wins, and we turned around and we beat Texas because we were the tougher team. Yeah. So every night in the SEC is going to be difficult. But this one, if you really dive into it, Kentucky, after we lost to them, jumped into the top 10. Vandy is now in the top 5. So 2 losses to top 10 teams, really. And then we go beat Georgia, beat Texas, who is still a top 5 team. And OU was top 6. They've dropped 2 in a row. And if you don't think for one second they're thinking the same thing we are, like, this is their gauntlet right now. If you look at their kind of 6 games stretch, they're playing some tough teams. Ole Miss, Kentucky, us. Then they go to South Carolina they get South Carolina on Thursday. So OU's trying to figure out how they can, I don't want to say steal one from us, because I think they're fully expecting to win the game. Yeah. I think they think last year we got away with one at home because there wasn't a lick of defense played in that game.
Right, I remember.
And we've preached that. But I think, to Lloyd's point, if we can get through Oklahoma in Norman, get back, play again on Thursday, I think that's on the road as well at A&M. But if we can get through this game on Sunday, then we can refocus. That's our first 5. And then you kind of break it down to the next probably 4 till you get to the end of the month. Because you go on the road to A&M, play them, always a tough place to play. They play us really well there. Right. That's kind of the LSU Texas A&M rivalry. But then you get 3 in a row at home in 1 week. So I think that's right, isn't it, Lloyd? I think
Florida,
we go
Arkansas.
Florida, Arkansas, Bama.
Yep.
It's like a Monday, Thursday, Sunday that week. So you don't want to look too far ahead, but you've got to be –
you have to know what's in front of you.
Exactly. You got to be realistic with the girls. Like, we knew going to Georgia, we had Texas coming on Sunday.
Right.
Like, it's human nature to look ahead. But if you can be where your feet are and be present each day, I think that's where you're going to find a lot of success. And I think – and I've said it over and over, I think that's where Flage's come into play, Michaela, Jada, these returners, and even Milasia's now stepping into a leadership role from a standpoint of she may not be the most vocal, but she's been through this SEC season before twice. I mean, she's a junior now, so she's done it at another school who's had a lot of success. South Carolina's been the team in the SEC for the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah, in the country. So I think seeing those leadership qualities come from those who have been there before, because for a freshman to step up and say something in the locker room, that's big, that's leadership, but they haven't been through this before. They haven't been through a 16-game just gauntlet of a schedule. So not having to preach over and over as a coach when you have players doing it themselves makes it, I don't want to say easier, but it's enjoyable. I mean, I'm getting texts this morning from kids on the team, hey, we want to watch film tonight as a team. Can you set it up for us? So
you'd rather that happen than not.
Exactly. Of course. Exactly.
It's good to look around the locker room and be like, okay, this is kind of – there's parts of it that's running itself as opposed to we have to step in and do this. Like,
exactly.
We don't want to be a coach.
We don't want to be pulling teeth to get it out of y'all.
Right.
Of course.
Now, there's going to be days where when we don't play for 5 days, it may –
little mosey,
little bit more from the coaching staff to get it out of them. But we talk about it a lot. Do you want to be a contender? Or do you want to be a pretender? And moving forward, like, we want to contend. We want to contend to win this league. We want to contend to make a run in the SEC tournament, and we want to contend to make a run in the NCAA tournament. So that starts in practice every day. And you don't want to be okay with bad days, but
you did practice.
There's going to be some. Yeah. There's going to be some bad days, but on those bad days, it can't be everyone.
Yeah.
And I hate to even say that, Right. But for an 18 to 22-year-old, for you to expect them to be at their best every single day in this day and age, unfortunately, that's an unrealistic expectation.
Right.
But if we can get the most out of them every day, and that's the other thing I've reminded a couple of these kids, especially Flage, is like, you don't have too many more of these. Because when you get to the next level, they don't care.
Right.
They don't care about rap. They probably appreciate what you do off the court, but it's a business in the WNBA. It's a business if you get an opportunity to go play overseas. So enjoy it while you're here.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean take a day off, but if you're having a bad day and for whatever reason, like, you got 11 other or 12 other kids on the team to pick you up, and you've got 13 coaches that you can go to and ask for help or rely on to do something. Like, we lay it all out there on a platter for them, but that doesn't happen at the next level. So I think the other, like I said, be where your feet are and just enjoy this every day, win or lose, because we may lose a couple more games in the conference. It's that tough.
Yeah.
But it's the day-to-day that I think can really continue to build this chemistry and get us ready for what we really want, and that's a run in March.
No. And the matchup this weekend, your fourth top 15 matchup in this last 5-game stretch like we've talked about. What are some of the challenges that Oklahoma presents that y'all are prepared for going into Norman on Sunday?
Oklahoma's probably the fastest team we'll play, and not from a speed and quickness standpoint necessarily, but from the second we shoot the ball, they're getting down the floor. And they're going, and they're looking to score the ball or get a shot up. It seems like in the first 6 to 10 seconds of the possession, and then they're sending 5 to the glass on the offensive end and on the defensive end. It's an interesting thing. I was looking, and we were talking as a staff because we're not really sure how it makes sense, but they're the number 1 rebounding team in the country, but they also are the number 1 defensive field goal percentage. So I guess it's because of how many possessions they play. They force you to take, I don't want to say bad shots, but kind of ill-advised shots, because it seems like teams just are trying to keep up with how fast they play.
Make them play your game.
Right.
Yes. And we saw that last year. And I think we shot 50+% from the field. I didn't realize it, but Michaela had, I think, 37 last year against Oklahoma. Very chippy game. It will be this year. We've got a little bit of history. There were some ejections last year. A lot of pushing and shoving. But we've got to keep our head in situations like that, and we've talked to our players about that. But the biggest key is going to be transition defense. They've got an elite point guard, obviously number 1 player coming out of high school last year, Aaliyah Chavez. Very, very good player. The ball is in her hand the majority of the time as a freshman.
Yeah.
She's going to take a lot of shots. We know that. She's going to get hers. But you've got perimeter players like Van and Williams and Verhulst who can go off at any time. And so then you go look down low in the paint at Reagan Beers, who has been in college for a while, very experienced, very physical. I think she's up there in the nation for field goal percentage. I mean, when she gets that ball in the paint, you're beat. She can score the ball down low. So taking away paint points is going to be very important. And it's not just Beers getting the ball down low on the block and scoring. It's layups in transition. It's their point guards and their wings getting downhill and getting to the rim. So taking away paint points is going to be important. You go back and look last year, I think they outscored us by 20 in the paint, or 18. So we shot the ball really well from 3 last year against them. We can't rely on that this year. Yeah. We can't rely on us going 12 for 26, I think is what it was last year against them. And Michaela scoring 37 points to go beat OU on the road. It's got to be a team effort. We've got to play defense. Whoever's better defensively will win that game. So you go back and look, how did teams beat Oklahoma? Because Oklahoma has 3 losses: UCLA, Ole Miss, and Kentucky. UCLA was, I think, their second game of the season. And then Ole Miss and Kentucky were back-to-back losses. Defense.
Yeah.
That game's not – the 3 games they've lost are not in the 80s, 90s, or 100s. And it's not – we're not saying slow down and don't do what we do, because we run well. We run in transition. We score in transition. We like to play fast. But don't play so fast where you're undisciplined. You have live ball turnovers. Get really good shots. Because against OU, the way they play, they're living with us taking outside shots.
Right.
They're going to stop you in the paint. Now, that means that mid-range can be open, but you can't be afraid to take those shots because they sag off in the paint. They go under screens, but they're physical too. Just because they play fast and score a lot of points doesn't mean they won't get into you and guard. They've got some weak links on the defensive end, but so do we. We've got holes in our defense that we need to clean up. So I think playing our style of play, but we preach it all the time, our style of play needs to be defense and rebounding. So if we defend at a high level and we rebound at a high level, I like our chances.
And Oklahoma right now is averaging, they shoot 21 free throws a game. And Chavez, a couple of those other stars, I think Van, as well as Verhulst, they're shooting 80, 81, 86% from the line. How important for y'all is it to stay out of foul trouble, not put them on the line? Obviously, Reagan Beers on the interior. We'll get to the free throw line. She's shooting right about 70%. How much of a focus is that for you guys to not allow them to get to the line? But then LSU is sitting at number 4 for free throws attempted per game. For y'all playing that free throw battle, especially on the road, how much of a focus is that for y'all?
Yeah, I think it's a stat that we look at all the time. We want to get to the free throw line more than them. Attempt more free throws, make more free throws. And the interesting thing, you get back to the Texas game, we got to the foul line one more time than them, but we made more than they did. I think they were 11 of 18. We were like 15 of 19, something like that. Texas, when you look on paper, they don't shoot free throws as well. I think they were around 70% as a team, but a couple players in the 60s. You look at OU, they got a bunch of players in the 80s, so they will punish you when you put them on the free throw line. And I hate bringing Caitlin Clark into all this, but because she's a generational player, and I think Aaliyah Chavez is a really good player. Chavez is going to get hers because of how much she has the ball in her hand.
Right.
There's no doubt. That's why she went to OU, so she could be the show there. And she is. She's done a really good job as a freshman. Very impressive watching her on film. But you can't let someone else go off against you. I think Verhulst had 27 against us last year. Very capable shooter. She did not shoot it well the first 2 games, or the games they lost against Ole Miss and Kentucky. But then you break it down why. Watching that on film, Ole Miss plays very, very good defense. Kentucky plays very, very good defense. So you go look at Oklahoma's stats during conference play, they're still getting a bunch of threes up, but I think they're like 4 of 22 from 3 in their first 4 games or first 5 games in conference play. So they're getting them up. They're not shooting it at a high clip. Don't let LSU be the team that they fix that on.
Right.
If they go 10 for 30 against us or 12 for 32, like that's not a good night for us. They're going to hit some on their home court, sold out. They have 2 losses in a row. But we know we're LSU. We know we're getting everyone's best shot. Embrace it and do something about it.
Yeah. And it's because when you look at, like you said, 2 losses in a row, they have LSU on the docket, then they have South Carolina in a row. You can't fake desperate, and now Oklahoma is looking at what they have in front of them. They're desperate for a win because LSU, they're not favored. I mean, LSU was favored against you. South Carolina will be favored against you. You look up and you go, we're on a 4-game losing streak in the conference. So what's your opportunity to get one back? A home game against LSU on a Sunday where they're coming off. You would think that a pseudo bye would be helpful, but they're in there looking at their schedule and going, this is the tipping point for our basketball season.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the non-conference they had. They beat some good teams in non-conference, with their only loss being to UCLA, who will probably be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And you don't want to think this far ahead, but like Lloyd said, you have to, because it's so important when you get to March and when you get to Selection Sunday. There are games like this that you need to win to secure yourself a top 16 overall seed. Yeah. Not that it makes it any easier, but it helps a lot, especially when the committee looks at it. OU, LSU sold out in Norman. Well, if they play us close or beat us on Sunday, regardless of how they finish the rest of the year, if there's any question on that bubble of top 16 seed, the committee's going to give them one because they can beat a good team. There's going to be good attendance. Oklahoma's a pretty reasonable place to get from a travel standpoint.
They're marketable now.
Yeah. Especially,
number one freshman in the country.
Yeah, number one freshman in the country. Good city. They got a good NBA team.
Right.
Like, because Oklahoma City's 20 minutes from Norman. Like, there's little things like that I don't think the average fan thinks about. But to Lloyd's point, I don't want to say desperate, but there is some desperation. And we're the same way. I'm not saying this is a must win for us or our season falls through the cracks, but to get to where we want to go, this is a win that we would really like to have. And I feel like we think we can get if we're locked in, if we pay attention to the scouting report, and if we don't let a team kind of get right against us, which in years past, we've fallen into that trap, whether it's been Auburn a couple years ago, Ole Miss last year, Alabama on the road last year. It seems like every time we play on the road, it's the opposing team's biggest attendance in like a decade or something, or since Simone was there. Like, for whatever reason, I guess history repeats itself, but when LSU comes to town, good things happen for the other teams. And
what happens when you get everybody's best punch.
Exactly.
And especially when you're all sitting in the conference, both sitting at 2-2, it's a conference game that matters where you end up in the standings.
Exactly. And tiebreaker, stuff like that, because we don't play Oklahoma twice this year. So I think it's important for us to realize, like, this game matters. Every game matters, but this is the most important game of our season to date.
Right.
We took care of business against Texas. We know what we have in front of us, but if you can't be 10 toes in, ready to play on Sunday.
Texas win means nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because then you drop to 2-3, and you feel like you're fighting for your life again.
And now you have Oklahoma above you 3-2 with the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. So, this is first women's basketball sellout at Lloyd Noble since February 28, 2009 versus Oklahoma State. The last sellout before that Bedlam game was a week before, February 21st, against Baylor, who was coached by Kim Mulkey.
Yeah.
So since 2009, 16 years almost since they sold that place out. But it'll be rocking. That's what we want. I think they're striping the arena out. It'll be fun. I've played in that arena when it's sold out.
Yeah.
It gets loud. Lloyd Noble's a fun place to play, but it'll be more fun if you can get out of there with a win.
100%.
Oh, he helped avoid the Dust Bowl.
Lloyd Noble.
Yeah.
You doing your research?
I am.
Heard
The namesake.
name. Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, with it being a huge matchup this weekend, and that's who y'all are. Y'all are the show. That's what the shirt said. You know, the crowds that y'all get at the PMAC on the road. And to talk about last Sunday a little bit, I want to give y'all credit, because LSU signed their third quarterback, really. But a big-time quarterback earlier this week in Husan Longstreet, who was in the stands on Sunday watching y'all's huge win versus Texas. So thank you very much, Coach.
Well, we saw he was there, and if that can be any indication for what football could look like, obviously Death Valley seats 104,000. But to bring recruits, and we had some big-time recruits in the house for that game. We're going to continue to bring in big-time recruits for future home games.
Of course.
If they can see that atmosphere for women's basketball, I mean, it just shows you this place is a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
And football in Death Valley on a Saturday night, there's nothing like it. I've been to a lot of college football stadiums. I've been to Kyle Field. I've been to DKR. I've been to Alabama. Like, nothing compares. I haven't been up to the Big Ten, but it's too cold up there.
Yeah, no.
I have no interest in sitting in the big house.
You're not missing much.
Or the Horseshoe watching a game in 10-degree weather. That's not me. But I think kid from USC has got to like what he saw. I mean, because you don't play in front of anyone at USC.
Right.
Like, and if you can see 13,200 people for a women's basketball game, even if the kid has to sit a year, and learn from a good quarterback with Leavitt, I think it just shows like LSU can be home, and it can be a place for you to develop and to build your brand.
Yeah.
Because what this school offers is more than paying kids NIL money.
Right.
It's building you up for life. I mean, look at some of the jerseys you have in here.
Yeah.
Like, look at some of the players that are playing on Sunday. from Burrow to Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Patrick Queen. Like, there are so many big names in the NFL. You got guys, what's that guy's name? Alex Bregman?
Yeah.
5-year, 175. That's not bad.
Right.
So it gives you an opportunity to really take off. It gives you a platform to boost your name, your image, and your likeness.
Yeah.
And if you can win a Heisman, win a national championship, take your team to the promised land, that's just a cherry on top. So it's been fun to see. I've been in constant communication with the new football staff because right now is our season. So they needed 30 tickets for that Texas game. We got it for them.
Right.
Like, as a big shout out to our recruiting coordinator. She made that happen. But we may need some stuff in the fall when we've got recruits in town. Obviously, our recruits aren't playing football. They've got little brothers. They've got dads that may have played football in college. So that's the cool thing about LSU is we bring a new staff and we're welcoming them with open arms because we want to be able to show any recruit they have every bit of LSU. Walk them through our locker room if they want.
Yeah.
Go to our practice facility. Come to shoot around. Come to our games. Like, because we expect the same thing on Saturdays in the fall. And that's why this thing is so fun, because everyone cares about everyone at this university. And that's not the same at every other school.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got coaches fighting and begging for things at other schools. And
look
that's
around
not,
going, why do they get this and we can't get that?
Exactly.
Instead, you have Lane Kiffin and Kim Mulkey walking hand in hand
Yes.
onto the court.
And that's what's so great about Coach Mulkey. She gets it. She's been in this business for a long time. So
she knows if football's good, that only helps LSU women's basketball.
Exactly. Right. We understand that we may not be a quote-unquote revenue-generating sport, but what we bring is eyes.
Yes.
We bring fans. We fill that arena.
Yeah.
We go on the road. People are watching. People are tuned in. It seems like every time I log into Twitter, and it might just be my algorithm, it's LSU basketball. It's LSU women's fans fighting with fans across the country, or LSU football. LSU. Obviously, that's important. But I don't think – like, as much as Coach gets it from a here's how things need to be done standpoint, I still don't think she understands the engagements.
Right.
Because some of the numbers are just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
We were talking to our SID the other day, and I'll pull up some of these numbers because I really couldn't believe it. So women's basketball only – total impressions in 2025, so calendar year, 180,502,191 total impressions. Instagram was 90 million. Twitter was 36 million. Facebook was 55 million. Like, total video views on videos that we had posted were almost 17 million. Like, it's just nuts what we're doing. And, yeah, it's on social media, but it's the product we're putting on the court. It's the video and photography and content teams that we have. LSU invests in the stuff like that. Other schools don't because they don't think it's important. But I'm sitting here with Coach Starkey trying to figure out how we can keep our student photographer next year and hire her full-time because she's that good. I mean, there was a picture the other day. Michaela hits a three, and her arms are up like this, and you've got the smoke up in the background. Like, it looks great, but who took that picture? A student photographer on the baseline who travels with us, who sacrifices her time. When Simone Augustus went up to get inducted to the Hall of Fame, student photographer, SID, and student videographer flew up. They have class. They've got to make sacrifices. But that's why LSU is such a well-oiled machine. Everyone's bought in. They understand that in this day and age, content matters. So we're going to have the best coaches. We're going to try and get the best players. But with that, we've got to have the best training staff. We've got to have the best doctors. We've got to have the best photographers, the best videographers, the best in-game whatever it may be. We've got MCs at our games now. I know it hasn't been completely smooth because they're kind of like tryouts right now to figure out if we're going to have one full-time. But I thought the lights in the PMAC the other day, the wristband, shout out to Our Lady of the Lake. I mean, that was sick.
Awesome.
And I was very hesitant about that. Because at football games, it's awesome when you got 104,000 people, and then when you score a walk-off touchdown against Ole Miss, they're throwing them
on the field.
Like, But the feedback we got from fans about the lights were awesome.
Yeah.
So I know it kind of went off on a little tangent there, but if you're a recruit, why not come to LSU? I know football's kind of struggled the past couple of years from getting to the playoff and competing for a national championship standpoint, but you've got an opportunity to wake that beast if you come here. And what Lane and their coaching staff has done in the portal so far, I'm excited for spring ball. I want to see all these guys on
baseball.
the field. Yeah, baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we, 29 days away?
Yep.
I think opening weekend is same weekend. We have a home game that weekend.
Yeah, got a pretty big home game that Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know who we play, but
And it's Mardi Gras. And Spanish Town's that Saturday as well.
Right, so it's a perfect weekend. If you're a recruit, why wouldn't you want to be in Baton Rouge that weekend? You get baseball opening weekend,
Pretty big game.
parades, and then who do we play that Saturday night?
I think it's South
Carolina.
South Carolina.
South
Pretty big
Carolina.
game. Should be fun.
Yeah, should be a good one.
I was scrolling through SeatGeek just looking at ticket prices the other day because I was getting my ticket for the men's game, and the first thing it has at the top is LSU women's basketball versus South Carolina, and it's just looking at the prices for all of them, and then it's just like 20, 50, 30, 207. It's like
Yeah, 270 for the 300s.
You can drop some hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm telling my parents because they're planning on coming. I was like, if for whatever reason you cannot make it to that game, let me know ASAP because I got people.
You got a line.
Like it's crazy, and I can't say Coach didn't warn you. She warned you at her press conference. If you don't buy season tickets now, you won't be able to get into games.
Yeah.
And I don't think she realized how quickly that would happen.
Because it happened fast.
But it happened fast. And I loved it. And I think I might have said it the other day after the Texas game. Driving up to the arena on Sunday afternoon to the ramps of the PMAC completely full an hour and a half before the game, it gives you chills.
Yeah.
And I can't help myself but to just pull my phone out. Because Coach comes in a different way, and she normally gets to the arena once people are inside. She normally gets there about 45 minutes to an hour before the game. But I send her those videos because she likes to see that stuff. And I want her to understand the impact that she's made here. And I think she knows it to an extent. But, God, it's fun to hear this city talk about us and to see the buy-in from the fans. And if Charlie Cream could just be right about where we are, if we could get to that regional in Dallas, or Fort Worth, it'd be awesome because I feel like we've been screwed the past couple of years going to Spokane and Albany.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go to Sacramento this year. But it sounds like if we continue to take care of business, there may be a shot that we get to Fort Worth. And wouldn't that be something if we can be fortunate enough to finish the regular season how we like. One of our team goals is to finish top 4 in this league, get a top 4 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. And if we do that, we get 2 home games, and then, God, it'd be fun to play in Fort Worth. We remember the last time we were in Dallas, it worked out pretty well. So Sacramento, if we went to Sacramento, we'd bring fans. It'd be fun. But it's a little bit easier to get to Fort Worth.
A little bit shorter.
Yeah, just like last year, if we could have gotten to Birmingham, I really think we could have done some damage in that region. But to that point, you've got to take care of business in games like Sunday and games after that, because and this is when you really break it down, had we not have slipped up against Ole Miss last year, had we not have slipped up against Alabama last year, we may not go to Spokane. We may end up in Birmingham instead. So
that's what all of these matter.
Yes,
and that's the hard part of of the coaching aspect. When they just look at the schedule, and you obviously know, you go down and you know which ones you're going to highlight first, right? Yeah. But it's like all of these matter, because if you don't lose to Ole Miss, if you don't drop one to Alabama, it's like now you have to go to
Sacramento
or Spokane. Washington. Like,
or
do you want to
Albany.
do that? Yeah, you don't want to do that.
It's not easy to get from Baton Rouge to Spokane or Baton Rouge to Albany.
Like, all of this impacts what you're going to do and what the thing that you care about the most.
Right. And that's why, Coach Starkey preaches it. He wears a sweatshirt. Today matters. And it does, because beating Oklahoma doesn't happen on Sunday if we don't start preparing well on Wednesday, on Thursday. Good practice today. And then we'll practice there tomorrow. Coach always likes to get there the day before, get shots up in their arena. And we won't shoot around on Sunday because it's an early game. But another nationally televised game. I think it's ESPN2.
Yep.
Is that during the division round playoffs?
Let's see. Let me
Houston plays.
Because y'all
there's some
play
football on.
at 2 p.m. And then the NFL, it's
3:30?
3:30 and 7 p.m.
Oh, perfect. So
roll right into some playoff football.
Roll right into some football. Exactly. So exciting stuff.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we appreciate you making your way in this morning. Best of luck. Safe travels.
Appreciate it.
We'll be tuned in on Sunday for sure.
Yeah, we do this thing down in Austin, or we did. I think they still do it. No matter what time is on the clock, it could be 9:41, and OU still sucks. So, yeah, that's the thing. I was rooting for Texas last night. I'm not gonna lie, but
you're all of them. I mean, as long as you're rooting for them on Sunday.
Yeah. Do they play on Sunday?
No, let's pass Sunday.
Oh yeah. No, that
a lot of point shaving going on around here.
That one felt good. That one on Sunday felt good. Obviously, I was
the burn orange looks a little different from the bench than it does on the TV, right?
Right, exactly. I was blessed to play there for 4 years and be there for 5. Got 2 degrees there, but to beat a team of that caliber on your home court with that atmosphere was awesome. Yeah. So, we'll try and do what we can on Sunday and then reset another road game in another city I'm not a huge fan of. And then we get to be back home for a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, it'll be fun to get back in the PMAC, but best of luck. Like I said, safe travels, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All righty. Sounds good.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Tingle & Co. after this. Oh, we've got a Tiger fan in Spokane, Washington.
We got a few Tiger fans there.
There you go.
We had a decent crowd, but
oh my God!
Created in honor of Alan Ward Bradley III, fondly known by family and friends as Ward. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez. Oh yeah. The po' boys are so good. Swear you're a Cajun fan.
He's standing over his butt on 7.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Brandon. Go Martin on the go.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
All right, boys.
Located at the corner of Island Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing. Built on trust, backed by quality.
All right, welcome back here as we close out this morning. Biggest thank you for alerting us, or for the hot mic.
I think it was yours. So it's still my fault.
Right, but it's my
But they couldn't hear me.
Yeah, you can hear me,
Shocking.
which is good.
I didn't say anything uncouth.
Not this time.
Yeah, oh no, I mean, sure. It's Christian.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the microphone should never be on ever.
Sorry, Pogue, let me fix the camera.
What is it, empty chair?
Yeah. Cup chair.
That's where I've been sitting the last few days,
Yeah.
the old cuck chair.
Yeah, it's over there.
We're just watching.
You want to learn?
Check this out. Well, we appreciate Coach making his way in this morning. I was surprised. I guess I just assumed they would be in Norman today.
Why is
Not.
that?
Well, I don't know.
Wait, it's Friday?
Yeah,
They go Saturday,
we
right?
go Saturday.
You could go. Wait, what's that flight?
What?
LSU to Oklahoma.
Quick.
Quick.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah. It's not a long one.
Yeah.
It's not that
Do
far
they get
of a
on the
trip.
bird? Or they don't bus, do they? They get on the PJ?
No,
they'll fly.
They're flying.
Yeah.
You're getting there quick.
Mm.
That would be that's a long bus ride.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure, 10
Quick
years
flight.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, you want to fly from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, so
When it was necessary, it's necessary.
7 minutes, Lloyd, is probably how long that flight is. It probably takes longer to taxi
Do
through the.
they have flights like that?
No.
You can fly wherever you want if you have a plane.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true. If you have a plane, you can do anything, really. But
I wonder how much, like, if they had like a commercial flight to.
Well, I mean, you can, and this is the thing. I mean, if you wanted to fly from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, you could, but it would take you from Baton Rouge
to Dallas,
or Charlotte, or DC back.
If you go to Charlotte, you're getting stuck in Charlotte. Also,
yeah, that's what I've heard many times.
Yeah, like
many times.
Yeah, I'm 3 for 4 getting
See,
stuck
because like
there.
for me, I what do you got?
40 minutes
from Baton Rouge to
New Orleans. It's a long flight.
There's no way. It's probably 15 minutes to taxi to take off, and then you fly for 10,
and then you got to sit
15
there.
minutes, to get back to the next gate. Gotta be, because there's no way. If it takes me 60 minutes to drive it,
it's still
it's
air.
gonna be 40 minutes to fly it.
Right. Well, so if you go 65 miles.
Well, so what needs to happen, Lloyd, is you need to be rich
fast-
enough one day
how
to have
fast
a
are-
a PJ.
500 miles an hour. And 65 miles. Because it's what? If you're going 65, it's a mile a minute.
Right.
So if you're doing 500, what's that math? Because 30 doesn't make sense.
I don't know. This isn't the show for that.
No,
that's for sure.
We aren't.
Somebody,
math
Grok,
experts.
answer me.
You need some Chat GPT help. Are you on Chat GPT? Let me get on.
50 miles
GPT here.
at 500 miles per hour. How long will it take? I can use 6 minutes. That's awesome. That's way worth it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Terrible ideas.
It's not worth it at all. You're carless.
Oh, I'm picking a private plane.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
So I do, but no traffic, no air traffic.
Of course not. Yeah.
Terrible ideas with LC. What
Literally.
a segment.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all
Literally.
are just crying poor. If you had it, you would do it.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, load it up.
I would just drive to New Orleans.
No. It's confusing.
How?
Which exit to take?
No, it's
when
not
to
confusing
turn.
at all.
There's one ways. Just bird. 6 minutes we're there.
Don't give Lloyd money, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, Lil Wayne said, what is it, 30 minutes to New Orleans? Now it's 6 minutes to New Orleans.
6 minutes to NOLA. We're going to close it out this morning, go 13 for 13.
I can probably think of a worse idea.
You can think of plenty of ideas for sure.
I like to think if I have an idea, it's generally one that can't be done, but it's usually a good one. It's phantasmal.
You're full of ideas. That's for sure.
Not full of executing ideas.
No, but you got ideas.
I do. I'm an ideas guy.
You are.
I thrive on enthusiasm.
Yep. You draw it out on your fridge.
Yes. Manifest. Destiny.
There you go.
Just write. Who would I put?
So what else we got in the chat here? Yeah, those numbers, the social media numbers he threw out from the women's basketball pages are silly.
Well, they're insane.
They're
And they
silly
because they
numbers.
have, and it's a stark contrast. So this is not a lot of college basketball programs.
Oh, I mean,
have the ability to do that.
There are NBA teams that don't
wish
get
they-
those numbers. Like it's not a.
Have you seen? Oh, I think I took a screenshot of it.
What is it?
Hold on. I mean, this gambling thing is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I haven't really looked into it all that much.
Yeah, I mean LSU's not implicated in it, so that nobody can get in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
Wait, a wager of $168,000
Oh,
on the
Guangdong
Guangdong
Southern
Southern Tigers.
Not the
50,000
Guangdong Tigers.
On Kentucky.
At a
in
casino.
Kentucky, on Southern Mississippi to beat Alabama State. St. Bonaventure over LaSalle. St. John's cover the first half spread against DePaul.
That DePaul, I saw a clip on the
Me
DePaul
too.
stuff. That was crazy, and it was like 3 different players on the floor at the same time that were all like found responsible for this game, and they ended up losing the first half by 20, and the spread was like 15.5, and St. John's just so happened to go on like a 17-0 run. And
to end the court, like to end
to
the half.
end the half, and you can just see like I'm pretty sure it was like number 21 or something. You can just see him like playing defense, like the guy gets the ball on the block, he's just like stopping.
Yeah, he forced him to the baseline, and he was like, I thought he stepped out of bounds. He gave free run to the basket.
Yeah. It's
he's just
crazy.
he just stays right there. He just lets him go. I was talking about it the other day with like there's a documentary about Arizona State way back in the day doing the point shaving, and you can see it in those clips of him just like like dribbling off at his leg, and passing the ball. It's like, man, oh my goodness.
And when you know, it's so obvious.
Yeah, it's so obvious.
But then you feel like you're kind of like a sad sack if you're like rigged.
Yeah.
It's like, well, clearly it was, because I saw a guy that made a free throw, missed a free throw, gets the rebound, thinks it's the first of 2 free throws. He throws it to the ref, throws it out of bounds, and it's a turnover. And it's like, it's a live ball.
Well, do you remember that?
You have to do that on purpose.
You remember the clip of Malik Beasley into the game, gets the inbound after a made shot. Like, the game's over. Like, whoever they were playing had won by like 10, 15 points. He gets the ball in the inbound, sprints, like dead sprint, down the court with the ball to lay it in on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look, and they were down like 12, and the spread was 10.5. And so he sprints down the court, scores 2, gets it to 10, so the under cashes. Like,
and
it's actually insane. And the funny part is that you're not seeing it with the Alabamas, the LSUs,
it's these small
the Michigans.
schools.
You're seeing
because
it
they
like
think that if it's on these lower levels,
they're not gonna. I feel like it's harder.
But to me, it would be like,
it
would set off all the alarms. Who's betting $50,000 on like
on the first half
Guangdong
spread?
Southern Tigers?
No, that's $170,000.
Like, what are we doing?
They're washing money. That's what that is.
$50,000 on Southern Miss to beat Alabama State.
$30,000 on the first half line between the Bonnies and LaSalle.
I mean, like $50,000 on Purdue
Fort Wayne to cover the first half. You degenerate.
Like, dude,
Like,
how is that? That's like, I get you're trying to go small schools, so it's under the radar.
Well, then you have to do
but
small
that's
bets.
over the radar.
Yes.
$50,000.
Like, I feel like there's better ways to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you really wanted the point shave, I feel like you could do it in smarter ways. But anyway, it's crazy to me how you can get like 3 players that were on the floor at the exact same time. Like, that is insane.
Well, and for them to play bad, but like, coach isn't taking them out.
No, that's what
it's these players that are obviously extremely talented, because even when they're making these stupid decisions or dribbling off their foot or playing bad, the coach is not pulling them out the game.
They're the best player
because they're obviously good. You know, it's like,
it must be like, okay, we have nobody better, so it's like our star point guard is making mistakes.
Yeah.
why would our backup point guard against this good defense
not make the same
mistakes?
Stop
well, actually,
turning it
funny
over.
enough, it's because your starting point guard's gambling on the game.
And then they're texting at the halftime with the guy that they're gambling with.
Yeah.
He's like, "Boy, you balling the fuck out right now. Calm down."
Yeah, quit making those shots. Was Jonte Porter when he throws up that three from the top of the key and it banks in, and he's like,
dang
it, my
overhead.
I just cashed my.
Man,
over.
Boston gonna be mad at me tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna
take that off the board. My foot was on the line.
Trying to see what games we got. So we got some men's basketball games tonight. Toledo, Kent State, Creighton, Providence, Baylor, Kansas, Ohio, Ball State, Loyola, Chicago, Dayton, Marquette, DePaul, Colorado State, Boise State.
This will be the cleanest game of basketball tonight, as everybody's alarm has gone off.
Yeah.
It's like what we were doing, we haven't been caught yet.
Toledo, Kent State is going to be just pristine. Nobody's dribbling off their foot.
No,
we're going to make
yes
0 turnovers each way.
Hey, Providence money line if you want to have some fun tonight.
But who
do they play?
Two schools of thought on this. I'm pissed
Creighton
that we didn't notice these things. Like there has to be a way to track these bigger bets that are going in, like percentage of money. But I want to see when somebody puts $50,000 on the first half under of like two teams I don't know anything about or have never seen play. And it's like, well, clearly he knows something that we don't.
Yeah. Let's tail that.
Right, and we missed it. Like now it feels like it's been
out,
clean. It's gonna be cleaned up. But also, it pisses me off because I don't know how far this goes. Like sports could just be tainted.
Yeah.
Especially now with like.
I mean, the whole NBA got.
Well,
that ended up being.
It keeps happening.
The NBA thing was poker, right? It was poker.
Yeah.
Illegal poker gambling with the mafia. But like,
how
far does this
go?
Run? Like how? Like what all is under the?
And that's
you would
why
assume like when you get to the playoffs, it's not. You're not playing with that. But like at the same time, you're also like, I mean, why?
Well, because if you do it once, you're in. You can't ever.
Yeah, you can't get out.
You're gonna get
stay.
rattled.
No,
yeah.
You can't.
And so if you do get to the playoffs, and it's like, hey, the phone call comes in, you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like this is who I am now.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
It's crazy.
Because I like my sports to be sports.
That's
the only thing I truly believe in.
Yeah, it should be sacred.
Yes.
Like don't mess with this.
But it's so easy. But you're gonna get caught.
They always get caught. You never get away with it.
Have they done anything with some of these players yet?
I don't know.
Because I know DePaul plays tonight.
They do play tonight. Like I said, they play.
Are they
going to play Marquette?
They play Marquette tonight.
Are they starting? Coach,
DePaul's favored, and all the money's on DePaul.
DePaul's minus 3.5.
All the money's on DePaul.
We can see how good they really are.
So what should we do? What's
it's a
our
classic.
Play?
Stay away.
So on FanDuel, it's minus 3.5 DePaul. Everybody's putting money on DePaul.
On Action, it shows you like where the bets are and all that stuff. Every dime is going on DePaul.
Did DePaul have a player? How many players on their team are point shaving?
Yeah.
3.
3 of them.
So they just think they're going to be better now? Because you're not actively trying to lose?
So with that on your mind, the point shaving deal, they're favored
at home.
They're minus 195 at home versus Marquette. What's your play? Is your play stay away, don't touch it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be the smart thing to do, but now that I'm thinking about it, it might be the best bet of all time to hammer
Marquette.
DePaul
to cover.
Right. Because they were losing on purpose.
Yeah, but every dime is on these fools.
Yeah, because they're finally going to live up to their, like, they don't have people on their team actively working against them.
But if DePaul wins, then Vegas loses.
And it's a straight-up game.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you don't want to be on the side of the money, but this time it feels like you had a DePaul team.
I'm going to do it.
Actively losing on purpose or not covering.
I'm going to baby units, but at least something. Shout out to our friends over at
Test our
FanDuel.
theory. We'll start betting on all the teams that got caught in the point shaving.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
They're gonna turn it up now because they're like, actually now
I know they're playing the right way.
So now that I can play real basketball,
right.
I'm actually real good.
Right.
Yeah, I mean this is the reason why I've been
got the bad eggs out of
there. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is more 50-50 on the spread. So could work out.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Here we go. Let's go 4 for 4 here. Connect athletically.
There we go.
Yeah, it's tough from the
from the side.
from the side chairs. Let's see. Gloves, shoulder pads, mouth guard, helmet.
Nice.
That would be. Then we've got anticipation, build up, buzz, and yeah. Then we've got
Miss Dart, right?
I think these are going to be something not. It's going to be a weird relation.
We've got
Illinois, California.
a dart, a javelin, an ice skate.
I don't know what this is. I'm not finding the connection yet. Methodist.
A hairpin turn.
California. Methodist.
Johnny O. Goodson. Southern Miss, Southern Illinois, Southern Methodist, Southern Cal.
Yeah, I knew we were missing something.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I was gonna do that.
Sharp thing. See, that was literally my thought.
Yeah.
Javelin, ice skate, and dart were just sharp. Bauer.
Southern Methodist.
Got his replacement for Morgan.
Nope.
To try to do this.
They're not going to throw it to this guy, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. We had the wrong idea, but the right idea.
Right idea, wrong execution.
Yeah, piss poor execution.
But he really wasn't that good at blocking either.
That's what I'm saying. We're on the wrong guy. Lead the team in targets.
Did he actually?
No.
Lead the team
Brown
fumbles.
did. Yeah.
Barry on Brown's highlight mix that he put out on Instagram yesterday. Fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Fire. Should have been so many more clips. That was all I was thinking about when I was watching.
Yeah,
I did.
I was like, this should have been so. And the crazy thing is, this should be better.
Yeah.
Like, it should be so many more clips. I saw that he used the Clemson catch, and I was like, that was such.
I hope he gets a good chance.
That was such a beautiful.
Hey, you're
moment.
gonna run like a 4-2-2.
Yeah.
When Nuss throws the slot fade,
And you have to return kicks in the
Barry
NFL now.
on, yeah. I know he might get drafted just off of like.
Yeah,
being,
he's
like,
definitely
kick
getting
return.
drafted.
Yeah, kick return. Like, just Sarah Paulson or Ricky Gervais.
Wow.
That was quick.
Yep.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you can just see it.
Who's Sarah Paulson?
She's an actress.
Ricky.
She was Marsha in the American Crime Story OJ thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Cuba
who that
Gooding.
is.
I don't remember what else she's in.
That's all.
American Horror Story. She's in that, I think.
Do you watch a lot of TV?
Me?
Is how this happens? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Movies,
here we go.
yeah. In the final 3 minutes of an epic 36-32 divisional round battle against
Alex
Saints,
Smith.
this is
Yep. Alex Smith.
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis. That was heartbreaking.
This Pacific Division team drafted Marcus Hall in 2007, but he wouldn't come to America for another year. In the time between, they traded his rights to Memphis. This will be the Lakers. He was traded for his brother. Pow!
Interesting trade.
2026 Winter Olympics. will be
Milan.
hosted in 2 Italian
Oh.
cities. There you go.
Why do you know that?
Because they won't build this hockey ice rink for it. It's this whole thing. They're not going to be able to play hockey in the Olympics because
Heated
they
rivalry.
haven't built this rink yet. They've had so long to build
And they
this.
haven't
They just don't want to
arena.
do it.
And they just got lazy and didn't do it.
They just haven't done
It's
it
very
yet.
Italian.
Just
They were.
haven't-
Yeah, that's spaghetti.
It's just not done yet.
But yeah, that's when I went there. It blew like everyone's mind that the shop opens when it opens.
Right.
They are not beholden to the clock. It's how everybody should work.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not 9 to 5. It could be no 5. It
Yeah.
could be open at 5. It could be not open today. It could open at 11. But swing through.
Whenever we feel like it.
Walkable city.
Since
golf
1974, the
looks
golf,
like in. right?
I registered for the drawing for a time slot to get Olympic tickets 2028.
Where?
LA.
Why?
It's the Olympics in America.
What do you want to see?
Olympic basketball.
Oh.
Swimming.
Ping pong.
Olympics are sick.
Is it winter or summer?
Summer.
The Olympics are cool. I
Flag
agree.
football they're doing in 2028.
Yeah.
NFL players will do it.
Who do you want to be quarterback? 2028, like I think they might be out on Lamar, getting older. Pat Mahomes on the back end of his career.
JD.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Let him. I mean,
run. It will be interesting to
Indisposable-
see if
yeah.
they do like the flag football. Play yours.
Yeah. There's no way. Screw that. Give me the NFL players. What do you mean? They get hit. You think they're not going to be better
It's a
at
different game.
Whatever. Jaden Daniels is going to blow by everybody regardless. If they're trying
Tyreek
to hit
Hill will
him.
be older.
I mean, but you get the re-ups, right?
Who's it produced by? I can't read it.
In disposable packaging, this food brand
Nissan?
produced by Nissan is known for flavors like chicken or beef. It offers wild varieties
Okay.
like lemon pepper wings and campfire s'mores.
So
Cup noodles.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
cup noodles. I have had the lemon pepper wings one before,
And
they are terrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
why are we doing s'mores in the noodle?
See, I've never had the s'mores.
I would hope
one.
not.
Yeah, no, pass on that. Brought in following the exit of Shelley Long. Curious how they played Rebecca Howell in this famous NBC sitcom.
Do y'all know this? I know this.
Posey knows this.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know this. What is it?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I've never watched
Of
Cheers.
course, I've never seen it.
Nice.
Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams
I know
start
this.
2012 romantic drama where her husband has to work his way back into the wife's heart after she wakes up with
Oh.
severe memory loss.
Just cut it. Like, get out of it. This is a blessing for you.
Wrong mindset.
No.
So yeah, she
Why would you?
forgets
I don't know this one.
Would you just run the same playbook?
Same thing you did last time?
Yeah, it clearly worked.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you can't be like, how do you know all this about me? Or would you just tell her?
No, you would pretend like those are all your favorite things. Like, oh, I love
Yeah, duh.
The Notebook. You don't.
I bet you hate when people leave their dishes in the sink.
You know, you just do everything right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
but you
Like,
should just do that anyway. But
Yeah. Good. Look at you.
nobody does.
Yeah.
So, but I guess you would know, like,
The vow.
you would get in trouble. Be like, oh, you go out to eat. Be like, she doesn't like lettuce. Like,
Rachel
how do you know
McAdams.
that?
What?
Yeah.
Top
We just
shelf.
met.
Yeah,
I
right.
agree.
I could just
Pervert.
I
I
agree.
can tell you don't
Andrew.
like
Yeah,
lettuce.
I bet you don't.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't like lettuce.
Right.
Wait, whoa! How do you know that?
Man, aren't you, what is it, with milk that you have?
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah. I could be like, no, she can't have that. It's lactose intolerant. No cheese. Like,
Whoa.
how do you know that? Weird. He's been following me, and then he gets a restraining order against him.
yeah.
And he goes to
yeah.
prison,
Yeah.
and he falls in love in there.
This artist is most known for his 2008 debut single "Let It
Let It
Rock,"
Rock, Let It
featuring
Rock.
Lil Wayne.
I don't know. This is what you call a skipper.
Yeah, Young Boy just dropped a new album today,
Skippable?
He did.
and he has a song with Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, yeah.
Just skip.
Skipper.
Me and Christian listened to it.
Is this Maroon 5? Who is this?
Kevin Rudolph.
Yeah. Bad
Via
decision.
Johnny L. Goodson in the chat. There we go, 9 for 9.
I have heard the song.
You have?
Yeah, they say "Let It Rock" in it a lot.
Let it rock, let it rock.
You know the song?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard this one. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, don't do it to yourself.
But yeah,
Pretty
Young-
sure it
this
was in
was-
like Madden or something back in the day.
Probably. But this was Lil Wayne in his guitar era.
Yeah, Young Boy and Jelly Roll dropped "Devil Go Away."
It's pretty interesting.
I could imagine.
Jelly Roll starts it off with like, you know, his classic
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, and then Young Boy does his thing at the end.
The thing about Jelly Roll that really gets me is when he perform, like you look at him and you're like, this isn't what you should sound like.
No.
Like you've got all the face tattoos.
Yeah.
and the deal, and he's just
Big old dude.
and he's singing.
You
You know?
got a great voice.
Yeah, it's just like why is
I'm happy for him though.
who Jelly Roll? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad the Jelly Roll story.
Yeah, the arc is phenomenal. Now he's on Ozempic.
Slimming up.
He did. Jelly Roll weight loss?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You even noticed?
I haven't really been.
I mean, he's gone from massive to huge, but
He's lost 275 pounds.
Wow.
that's a lot of pounds.
That is a lot of pounds.
You lost another fat person.
If I was to lose 275 pounds,
Wouldn't exist.
You'd be what, 5 pounds?
No pounds.
no pounds. That'd be negative
Pounds.
45 pounds. 275, that's a lot of pounds to lose. So how much was he? Like 500?
Mm-hmm.
Woof.
It's a lot of pounds.
500's a lot of pounds. It's like the 1,000-pound sisters. You ever seen them?
Together they are?
Tammy and Amy. Yeah, one's 600, one's 400.
1,000-pound sisters?
Yeah. Woof.
Oh, they lose weight?
Yeah. They ended up losing it, but still.
He's lost an entire me, and
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh. I know this.
Yeah.
I know this big
Try
one.
being my size, Amy.
That's what it
You
is.
don't know how it feels.
You can't
And they're
walk.
both.
Then they have this voiceover of the husband of the smaller sister pushing the bigger sister up a hill, and it was like it's like pushing a 97 Ford Explorer. up
Oh
this
my
thing.
God! Hell yeah!
It's those the TLC shows upset me.
So is that?
Like, it's, like that's heartbreaking to like watch.
Do they still
stop,
do that?
Get it off.
Do they still do that?
It's the screen.
Is that? Here's your underwear on backwards?
like TLC should not be allowed to do these shows.
Why? You gotta spread awareness.
Awareness for what?
If you get fat enough, people will make fun of you. Like they're watching. They're not there to help you. They're
Like
shaming you to the
TLC.
point of, look, you're the two fattest sisters we've ever seen on the planet.
We're gonna make a show about
Yeah,
you.
because
Like
you
TLC
can't get off the couch. You grunt when you walk.
Like
Like,
TLC is just it's such a crazy
It is.
brand of shows.
Because-
like
Oh,
My Strange
man.
Addiction.
if this were you, and you watched it back, you're like, I'm on TLC, I'm famous, and then you see yourself, and you're like, I probably need to make some changes in my life
Right.
because this is embarrassing.
well, it's like
And then you read the comments.
it's like it's My Strange Addiction.
I like that
What
one.
do you mean you eat your husband's ashes?
Hey, that's
Yo,
not that weird.
Cool Papa Rock.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They show the dude that had a relationship with his car, like
And
in
people-
love with his car.
How? He fucks the gas station, like the gas pump,
Like would get under the car.
and do what?
And he would like kiss the front fender, like he's all the way under the car, and it's just his head poking out.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Like it's such. I just looked up popular TLC shows. We've got.
I've seen that woman eat a rock.
Yeah. The dry. She one eats drywall.
Have y'all seen the hoarder ones?
Yeah. Oh, like the hoarding.
The hoarding
is
ones
terrible.
are good.
The one where they bust into that old woman's room and she just starts laughing. She's like amongst the trash.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my
She's
God!
like,
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, look, there he is. There he is.
If this was, do you think?
Yeah.
Oh man, I bet he fucking nuts to Cars, the movie. He keeps putting on the pause it for Lightning McQueen.
Cars 3 is
yeah.
a big one for him.
Right.
Oh, like I mean, there's, yeah, they have hoarding, buried alive. 90-Day Fiance is a crazy one.
What is that again?
That's where it's like foreign people. You have to be together for 90 days, and then you can get married or whatever. And so they like
They've
match
never
up,
met before?
like single American people.
It's always they're trying to get a card. Yeah, I've seen that. They
I'm
don't
pretty
speak
sure that's
English,
what
and
that
these
is,
people are
right?
so desperate for love.
That's what 90-Day Fiance
Yeah,
is,
that is.
right?
No, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the
Like what, Married at First Sight?
yeah.
Like where it's like you literally walk into a wedding.
We're married.
You're married.
Do they kiss?
What else do we have? What other shows are on here? God, there's some crazy. I mean, Toddlers and Tiaras.
I love the.
It was when it was like they had like these little children that were like the pageant queens.
Oh yeah, those moms
and they
are
like put
awful.
them through like hell.
And they have like real
like problems
with like the moms that are insane.
Yeah.
And they all hate the director because their little daughter
Right.
gets kicked out or
Right,
she's
right,
too
right.
fat.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't know. And then they get in a fight. And then, like, they're at the pageants and, like, actively causing a scene and, like, booing. All the mothers have, like, the big rivalries.
Oh, I guess this is a new TLC show. I don't remember. Yeah, 2025. Poly Family.
What is? Oh, they're all having sex with each other.
I guess so.
Oh, there was one where it was like,
Oh, Sister Wives classic.
yeah.
The
What
one
about the
guy,
Mormons?
The one guy.
What
That's
about
the Mormons.
What
He was
about the one that had like 30 people in the family? Like,
Oh yeah,
you know-
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
The
what-
Duggars.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, the
like,
Duggars. They ended up being terrible people.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like there was John and Kate plus 8. We had, Extreme Cheapskates. Remember that one?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
Where
the
it's like
couponing?
the people that well, that's not couponing.
No,
This one's
it's-
like people that do crazy
Yeah,
things
like,
to save money.
like share deodorant, like
Yeah, or
one
they-
little thing of deodorant each. That's all you get.
you have like a
What's it called?
Like a week bath. We fill the bathtub up on a Sunday.
Use that water the whole time.
Yes,
That's the water for
yes,
the
that's
week.
the water. Like, dude, they do some
There's
crazy
this one dude
stuff.
that like wants to be a professional wrestler, and he goes out to try out for TNA or something. Like Kurt Angle was there, and instead of having laces for his boots, he just tapes them every time.
That's less efficient.
And
It costs
like,
more money.
And then like he doesn't do a spray tan. Instead, his mom rubs like tea bags on him. It's like it's some weird stuff
That's
people do to
weird.
save money.
Tea is cheap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The tape doesn't make sense. Laces are $1.
Yeah, yeah.
Tape is $1.
And then what else?
Laces
do
are
we have?
forever.
And of course, there's my sex sent me to the ER.
Love that one.
Okay. Seeking brother husband.
What's that?
What is that? This is a 2023 show.
Polyfamily's got to be the weirdest one. I don't know. I really don't know what that means.
Polyandrous families decide to bring new brother husbands into their lives.
See,
Andrew Messina says I look like Ernest.
Ernest.
I don't know who Ernest is.
I don't know.
Which one?
I don't know. He says this new dude Poggi looks like Ernest. I don't know who Ernest is.
Like Ernest, the fictional character?
Oh, 7 little Johnstons, the little couple. Then they just choose like, I mean these are little people that they've just started. They're just like, no, we're gonna do a show about you.
Small?
Like why?
Because you're small?
Because you're small.
Yeah. What do you think
Like
it
it's
is?
like that's rude. Like,
Well,
it's just
did they do the Love on the Spectrum?
good show?
Good show.
I watched that
In
one.
Australia?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've watched Love on the
What do they
Spectrum.
have? It's Down syndrome, right? Or it's autism?
It's all of them.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Yeah, I mean, now you're getting into the crazy reality shows.
No, people actually watch those. Like that one. I know
Love
that
is
people-
Blind.
Yeah, people like love it.
Yeah,
Because I think it is wholesome.
it's a crazy. Well, no, it's awful because this
Oh.
is how it goes every time. I don't not to ruin the show for anybody, but you're in a relationship with somebody through like an Alexa for weeks, months, whatever, until it builds up to a wedding. Like the first time you meet.
The Spectrum one?
No. Love is Blind.
Oh.
And then they always are like, no, it's not going to matter what he looks like. Like, I love him or I love her.
no chance.
Like, and then they walk out and you're like, ew,
So how'd they
no.
see each other? I thought they saw each other in the portal.
No. You see each other first time in person.
But how do you talk? You're just phone calling
You're
it?
talking through like an Alexa thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like, no, like we're in love. Like it doesn't matter what they look like. And then every time it's always like, actually, you're really ugly.
And then there's the other one where they can't see their face.
We're still on.
Yeah, we're still on.
You want to get on?
Yeah, absolutely. All this negative talk about LSU basketball.
Yeah. No,
It's
you're
already
the-
happened.
What are you talking about?
Come save the program. We need to save the program.
Yeah. Well, so Christian was sitting in the 300s, you know, Shador, the little one, and he was sitting up in 300 right across from where y'all were at, and he was watching. He said he was watching y'all more than he was watching the game, and I told Jason mid game, I was like, the reason the defense is going to go down in the second half is because they're not on y'all's side of the court anymore with y'all's energy.
Good possibility. Good possibility. So it was. I'll tell you this. I love LSU basketball.
Of course.
One of the greatest sports I love to watch. I love Coach Mac McMahon. I love the staff. I know everybody's going to beat me up for it. He is a great coach. He's a great person. He's a great human being. I think it's just unlucky. I mean, you lose Jalen Reed. You lose DJ Thomas. You get both of those kids. Look, you get one of the two kids back, and you're in a different situation. And it's a shame that people are judging him based on these kids getting hurt. And so I'll tell you this, after that game, I felt like I played it. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. I think Rob Miller played one of his best games ever, both on defense and on offense. Better on defense than offense, but both.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame that people are judging it. And look, I know he's been here 4 years. I've been around it all 4 years. Prior to that, I was around it.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, he knows what's going on. He knows the expectations. I think the second half of the season could, if we get DJ Thomas back tomorrow, I think the second half of the season could turn. And it's going to be funny to watch the fan base go back and forth.
Right.
You're all behind them. I'll tell you this: the fan base the other night was incredible.
It was
the
great.
best I've seen.
It was great.
Best I've seen it all
That
season.
was, I think, the most upsetting part for me was the way it went down, the way it ended, when there was so much to capitalize on because everybody was there and they were in it. And I text Jason because Jason texted me throughout the entire game, and like there was McKinnon got an open look at a three, and then Reese did on like one of the final possessions, and I was like, this place is ready to pop.
And both of those 3 points rimmed out.
Yes,
they went in and out. And so look, listen, I'm not a sunshine pumper. They made more free throws during the game. It'd have been a different thing, but it's basketball.
Like
it's not.
But you're right though. If you have DJ, that game's completely different.
Completely
It's
different.
Totally different ball game. You're playing differently. The second half starts differently. Like all that stuff is different. You got to have your guys.
I think I don't know the exact stats. I think we got outscored in the second half big time.
Yeah, I think it was 53-39.
Yeah, I mean, and like one of the statisticians next to me sends me a sheet like right in the beginning of second half, and he says he hands me a piece of paper and it says Mac McMahon is 30-0 when 4 players or more in double digits. And after the game, I go, well, don't ever give me stuff like that again. You just jinxed us. You just jinxed us. And he kind of chuckled, But I think the fan base showed up. I hope they show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
He deserves it. The staff deserves it. Those kids deserve it. Look, I was here when Johnny Jones was there. I was sitting courtside.
Yeah.
And look, I remember the last couple of games, there was maybe 500 to 1,000 people in the PMAC.
Yeah.
And everybody says, well, I'm not going to support losers. I don't see it that way. I'm a different breed. I look at it as I'm going to support these kids because these kids – listen, if you don't think Matt McMahon wants to win, the coaching staff, the kids want to win, then you're crazy. They want to win.
Well, and that's to me, because watching him on the sideline, right? Like, I like to watch the coaches and how they maneuver and operate. You can see there's a visible difference in the emotion and the energy that he shows on the sideline now to me than when he first got here.
Listen, from this year to last year, it's
Yeah.
completely different. It's like he's, and everybody's gonna say because he knows he's coaching for his job. I don't know about that. I think he feels a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
Look, if people could get to know Matt McMahon like I have gotten to know Matt McMahon, people would be like, oh my gosh. I think their opinion would be different.
Yeah.
He is a great human being. Unfortunately for him, he's kind of and I get it, man. Coaches don't know who they can trust and who they can't. Most people are trying to get something from him. Look, I don't want anything from him. I want LSU basketball to win, whether it be Matt McMahon or the next coach. Look, I wanted Will Wade to win. I wanted Johnny Jones to win. I was friends with Trent Johnson when he was here. Nobody liked Trent Johnson. But when you get to know these guys on a personal level, great people, all of them. Matt, a little bit more than, Look, I still talk to Will Wade. I still talk to him, still text him, watch his games. Great guy. I know. I've watched all the websites. Oh, he's never coming back. Stop it. People need to leave it alone. I'm not talking about whether I'm just talking about the difference between the coaches. And Matt McMahon, if he could let people see the part that he lets certain people, his inner circle, see, people would have a completely different opinion of him.
Because that's one thing, and from my perspective, and not even just from a media perspective, just in general, even as a fan, that I would love for this staff to have maybe done a little bit more earlier on, and still now, is that connection aspect, where when you're a fan and you're sitting across from the bench, you can point out and you can name every coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can you know them, and it's not that they need to come on here or any specific show, but just the the presence, right, of being on social media and active and that kind of connection, because I agree with Coach McMahon and who he is and how great of a person, and it would just, if they knew him and it was just a little more open in that aspect.
And look, and it's not just Coach McMahon, his entire staff.
Right.
I mean, David Patrick, Jalen Courtney, Casey Long, Coach Vince. I don't know Coach Vince's last name. That came from A&M.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, all of those guys. And look, so if he loses his job at the end of the year, my heart goes out. Look, I love to win.
Right.
But my heart goes out to these guys because they are really trying. I talked to one of the coaches yesterday evening, and I said, man, look, I just want you to know that's the best I've seen this team play with throughout the year, even with DJ.
Right.
They bought in. They gave it all. And look, it's a last-minute shot. I mean, look, out of all the kids you wanted on that court for Kentucky to shoot, that's the kid.
Yeah.
I don't even know if his eyes were open. I mean, it was just the – and unfortunately,
Yep.
Would you do things different? I don't know. I don't question their coaching ability. I'm not a coach. I just wish a couple of more free throws would have fallen throughout.
Because there are times when, and this isn't a knock on the athletes ever, but there are some times where the players have to make the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like you covered it. I mean, there were a handful of things you could have different. Rob Miller, he missed time to jump. If he jumps a half a second later, he's catching that ball and it's game over.
So I was told yesterday, if you go back and watch that play very, very slowly.
He got his hand on it?
He got his hand on it, and who was guarding the inbound pass?
Sutton.
Sutton
Sutton was on the
Sutton tipped very – I mean, it's a light tip.
Right,
you can see that he tipped the ball too. Like I said, had Tamba made one of his free throws, you had to get beat by 3 point.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different. I think they played the game very well. You have to give. Jason and I talk about.
Tiger dropping himself. I'd like to know who called me out. I'd like for him to meet me back tomorrow or Wendy's.
You come
I don't hide. I don't hide.
So Jason and I talk about it all the time. If you really are invested in this program like he and I are,
right.
You see Matt McMahon coach. He draws up some great plays, and it's up to the players to make the shot. And unfortunately, you can't control that.
Yeah.
And so, I think emotionally it's going to be rough for the kids. That's why I hope the fans come out tomorrow. Look. Jason and I get drilled all the time. Y'all a bunch of sunshine pumpers. Look at all. No, I love basketball.
Right.
And look, you can say that about me about basketball. You can say that about people with football. Yeah. LSU sports. Everybody. Look, I love all of LSU sports. Basketball is my favorite. And so you just have to know these people, and you have to understand that that's an emotional ride for these kids. That's what I'm worried about is can the kids come back from the emotional letdown because they put so much into it.
Yeah, they have, and these first. Really all 4 losses, right, in SEC play. Against Texas A&M, it's a back and forth. You lose it at the end, right? Against South Carolina, you get down, you fight back, not enough. And then same with Vanderbilt. You get down, you fight back, not enough, and then you lose at the buzzer. Like, these are, as an athlete, it's an emotionally draining type of thing. And that's my biggest pushback against the distaste for this season or maybe not wanting to be there is there hasn't been one time that I've watched this team and the players haven't – shown the emotion, and McMahon and the staff haven't shown. Like there was one time at the game on what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday, where they were on defense. They were trying to get them into something specifically, and McMahon was up almost all the way onto the court. David Patrick was up. Jalen was up. Taz was up. The whole staff was up, standing, screaming the same thing in unison to the players. And that's emotion. That's care. There is not an energy around LSU basketball right now that is it's whatever, it's over.
Right. And look, there are some people. Look, as it was over, before I could put my butt back in my seat to kind of understand what just happened, my phone was blowing up. Oh, this is done. We're over with. Oh, this is and I'm like, are you kidding me? We're going to base this. I mean, look, so we're 4 games into the SEC. We've got 14 more. We got 14 more SEC games. All we got to do is win 9. 9 takes us to the tournament.
Yeah.
And so, look, I think, people, why isn't DJ playing? I'll tell you this, DJ wants to play.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, do you bring him back too early and risk him being out for 3 months?
Right.
Or do you let him, and
like you said, you have 14 games left.
You have 14 games. It's not, listen, Rome isn't burning. Rome is not burning as far as I'm concerned. And I know, like I said, everybody's going to beat me up. Oh, you're a basketball. I am a basketball fan.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
It's okay to be optimistic about it.
And it's funny because I look at LSU athletics and I go, everybody loved Ed Ogeron. He won a national championship.
Right.
Soon as he started losing, the fan base erupted against him. Oh, he's terrible. Get rid of him. Look, he divorced his wife. He's running around with these girls. I mean, these people are human, number one. Then we go through the Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin. Bring back Ed Ogeron. wait. You all just wanted him gone as a head coach. Now you want to bring him back.
Right.
And so, look, I get it.
Those are the people you're dealing with. And because of the pushback you may get from supporting men's basketball and still being able to throw your support and believe that LSU can go on a run, the casual people, the reason the building was filled, it's like that's the one game I'll go to. And so then they all have their uninformed take of what they think about LSU basketball when you go to one game a year.
Right.
And the people that are usually the most strong are usually the loudest. And that's what you have. That's part of the gig. I'm not, making an excuse for Matt McMahon, but that's what you're dealing with.
Right.
When it becomes you're very much ingrained into the program. You watch every game. You go to every game. Your opinion, whether they like to hear it or not, is more educated than their opinion.
And I'm not looking to be
but that's
the
just
top person. But I like I said, look, I had people come up to me at halftime. We're winning, okay? We're winning. We dominated the first half. And people came up to me at halftime and go, well, this isn't the Kentucky that we all know.
See?
And I'm like, oh, yeah, wait. As far as I'm concerned, they're wearing blue. They're going back to Lexington. They're enrolled in Kentucky, University of Kentucky. I don't care if Kentucky's ranked 5th or 105th. You beat Kentucky. It's a quality win.
Yeah.
And so like I said, it's different. It's hard. You get so invested in these programs, and you see people come and go. Look, I understand it's a business. It's not. Although we love it, and I know you're gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear it. These kids are getting paid. Absolutely, they are getting paid. Yeah. Absolutely, good money, very good money. And so, there's some. I'm not taking the fault off of them. I just think people need to give them a chance and don't burn the bridge or burn the PMAC down because we lost. We're down. We're 0-4 in conference play.
It's not over yet. There's a lot of game left.
And from my perspective, even if this is the final season of this era, there is no benefit to doing anything in season. When you look and you compare it to football, Brian Kelly, there was a benefit to getting him out of the building and trying to rebuild what was the issue, right? And as of right now, LSU men's basketball, I don't see the benefit to uprooting him out from the seat and changing it now.
The benefit would be the same reason why you fired Brian Kelly, so you could start searching for your next head coach.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I'm kind of with you, Noah. I don't think it's time to start looking. Do we get rid of Matt McMahon in the middle of the season?
Right.
You got to give him some more. I mean, look, you look at this. This is a small snapshot of the season. I mean, you're 0-4. I mean, look, there's a lot of things. I mean, let's go back to, what was it? Boston beat the Yankees in baseball. They were down in the series, three games, and they came back and won four games straight
in 4 days.
And so, look, I agree with you. Is there any benefit? Now, you get further into the season.
Right.
You got a few games left, and it's still going the way it is. Yeah, I would understand if they did.
Right.
I don't, because like
Lloyd
said, sorry, brain freeze. Like Lloyd said, you want to be the first guy out there. Does LSU, what does LSU do? Do you want to try out David Patrick as the interim head coach? He's the only guy on the staff that has had head coaching experience, so you'd have to put him in. Are you basically interviewing him? I don't know. It's very murky. Sometimes I wish I wasn't as invested in the program because, you play both. Look, I know both sides. I get the fan base. I get it. You want to support a winner. But I mean, look, LSU, like I said, I think for me, the two most impressive things I took away from Wednesday night was the crowd and the team performance. You go to gymnastics, you got 13,000 people. Great event if nobody's ever been to a gymnastics meet. Great atmosphere. You go to a baseball game. You go to women's basketball. It's all there. Softball has a big following.
Right.
And so I don't understand. The two biggest sports on campus that make money is football and men's basketball. Support them. Support them. Give them a chance.
People like to support a winner. And Noah laid this out yesterday, and it's becoming – I agree with you to an extent about – we said this like going through Matt McMahon's tenure at LSU. It has been – it's like almost it's been Murphy's Law for him. Like what can go wrong has gone wrong whenever you bring it. Like we had Jalen Reed –
last year.
Right.
Last year, yeah.
Goes down with the injury.
Goes down with his torn ACL. Comes back this year, pops his Achilles. That's somebody that you're like, this could be the future of the next 3 years.
Right.
Somebody that you can build around. You go and pay top dollar for your point guard, and it was proven to be money well spent. And now he gets hurt, and the murkiness around the timeline of you don't know when he's going to be back. That doesn't help anybody. But you see the things that have caused McMahon to not really have success. But then you look up at some point. It is what it is when you've only won 5 conference games in 3 years. And it's like, well, now it becomes the results of the results.
Yeah.
And it's a results-based business.
Yeah. There's no two ways about it. Look, it's definitely a business. Listen, if I get a phone call or it hits the internet and says, look, we're getting rid of Matt McMahon, I get it. I'm not happy about it, but it's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business decision. Like you said, like I said, do I think it's beneficial for LSU basketball to make a move so quickly? No, I don't. I mean, look, we're 4 games into the season, into the SEC play. I don't think it'll happen. Financially, I don't know that LSU will do that. I mean, look, I kind of let him ride it out the year, save the money. Look, you can have the conversation like, look, at the end of the year, we're going to go in a different direction if that's what they choose.
Yeah.
It's a position I wouldn't want to be in.
Yeah.
I really don't.
But there's a lot of time left for these guys to get that momentum back. Like that same momentum that you think you would have gotten after beating a team like Kentucky at home and having that crowd come. Like you still have opportunities for that. You still have Arkansas. You still have Alabama. You still have Mississippi State. You still have these games that you can, make something out of nothing almost and really just get like the fan base kind of momentum really going again. There's still time to do that. Like the season's nowhere near.
It's basketball.
Yeah,
it's kind of like baseball. You got a long season, a lot. Listen, we experience injuries early. There's going to be teams that experience injuries later. Look, I even thought about getting someone to come into the PMAC with sage and try and ward off the evil spirits.
Like the Steelers
can't hurt.
Get the priest to get the bucket out.
Can't hurt, can it?
Yeah.
I mean, anything, because it looks like we're snake bitten in that arena,
Yeah.
And so
that's the other part of it when it feels like you don't have a true home court advantage.
Yeah.
And it starts to, because I do feel like a lot of people made their decision of supporting or not supporting men's basketball at the Kentucky game. After the way the build-up around it felt like almost a rallying cry for McMahon. Like, look, we will come in support. We'll go to the Kentucky game. We'll give you all we got. And then you lose in the fashion that you did. Everybody is like, all right, nope, can't. Because what happened was when you give up 60 points in the second half and score 30, you were up 18 for the majority of that basketball game. And then it looks like whether it's missed free throws or turnovers or a misplayed ball at the end of the game, they're just like, well, how'd you lose that one? And then the way that you lost becomes, all right, I'm good.
So would it be different if we lost by 10?
Yes, I do. I do think so. I think it evoked such an emotion because you felt like you were there.
Yeah.
You were up by 18. You had every opportunity to win the basketball game, and you shit down your leg. Right. And so that's when it becomes, how come you couldn't pull this one off when you had every advantage and you still didn't win?
Yeah, but I think you would have lost more people if you'd have lost by 10 or more.
It would have been the same old story.
Yeah, man, I love it. I told you. I look at it. Look what happened. So to me, I'm a glass half full type of guy.
Right.
Look how you played Kentucky. Look, Kentucky's a good team. I don't care what anybody says. I know Kentucky fans aren't.
Yeah, that's Kentucky fans.
Yeah, and I mean, look, they'll never be happy, but, that's kind of like Alabama. It's like Alabama football. They don't like anybody after Saban. Who would take that job after Nick Saban? That's a crazy thing. Who would take the job after Calipari? Crazy idea to do. However, like I said, I think I'd rather them lose by 1 like they did because you were in it. You had the chance. You can correct that mistake. You lose by 10, and then you start looking at, why did we lose by 10? And so we didn't get down. I think Kentucky only led in the last minute, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's and I think the biggest thing that has invoked the response, of course, is the way, losing at the buzzer is always an emotional thing that happens. But it's also when you have the lead and you see the run happen the way it does and the lack of a response. You know what I mean? Where there was opportunities to respond and stop the lead, and then it just didn't happen. Right. I think that's what's really left to me maybe the biggest, the bad taste in the fans' mouth is where it looked like at the start of the half, you knew Kentucky was going to go on a run. At some point, they were
if you didn't, then you're delusional.
Because it's basketball, right? It's basketball that is a game of runs. And so they went on a run, and LSU just didn't respond and wasn't able to close it out and finish it.
And so you know where I sit. Everybody knows where I sit.
Of course.
And sometimes, and Jason and I talk about this, sometimes I feel like everybody behind me is looking at me. Like I can just feel the stares like, okay, you're up screaming and hollering, and we lost. Yeah, we did. And I'm going to be there tomorrow screaming and hollering, and I'll be there at the end of the season screaming and hollering no matter what the record is. It's an infinity of mine, my family's. I love LSU athletics. I support LSU gymnastics, basketball, baseball, football, women's basketball. I don't support golf. I'm sorry. I don't have one of those little chairs to go sit on the course and watch them. Maybe I need to invest.
If that's all you're asking for, I think they'll get you one.
I don't know about all of that. But like we just want LSU to win. And I think when you have all of these sports on campus winning, I met one of the football coaches or one of the staff members earlier this week. He came to the office and I said, what's really funny about LSU fan base? If we win in football on a Saturday night, the next week, man, you're on a high. Yep. It is. But if you lose, and I think if I'm not mistaken, somebody told me this. Don't know if it's fact. Check me if you want. I really don't care. Somebody told me when Skip Bertman was the AD, they did a economic study that when LSU wins in football, the next week the economy does better, and when they lose, it doesn't. And so, look, I get it. We're a college town, and you got a lot of people pumping a lot of money into LSU athletics, NIL, through TAF, and another thing. I think TAF gets a bad rap sometimes. People, these big. Understand what you're talking about before you talk it. I won't get on any social media, like I won't get on any websites because I don't. You said it, Lloyd. Look at who's talking. Who has time to sit on social media and just blog? Not me. And I don't want to read it. And if you do have the time, good for you. But it's really disinformation as far as I'm concerned.
Right. And that's the when you get into the LSU where people care so much because, like you said, a win or a loss, while it maybe shouldn't, it holistically affect people the way that it does, but it does. It has a direct correlation to your mood, which has should I buy this or should I not? Am I better at my job because I'm happier that LSU won? Probably. And so it just has this impact on the state of Louisiana and the people because they care so much, regardless of how much they know about it. They're still going to root for LSU, and they're still going to be pissed when they lose.
I guess I'm different. I bought a new car yesterday.
or you're sad, and you can make a sad purchase.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, something's got to make you happy,
exactly.
Right? And eat, drink, buy something. Look, like I said, no matter what happens this year in men's basketball, we talk about this all the time around our office. The sun's still going to come up the next day. We're still going to wind up having, you're still going to get to the next day. You're not going to get to the next week. And
still going to be in your seat next season.
I'm still going to be in my seat.
That's the credit to you because it would be different if you showed up when LSU was good and started, look at front runner. He goes up and he's cheering and yelling at just some games or when they're good. No, every game. You've earned the right to do whatever you want in your seat because, I care. I'm going to be here regardless.
I am going to be
So I'm going to watch it like this because I care. If you just showed up when, LSU's 4-0, I guess I'll go tonight.
Right.
That's a different type of fan. That's a front-running fan.
Yeah.
Or when they play Kentucky, I'll go for – I went to one game this year.
And people told me that, the only reason why this crowd was big was Kentucky. Well, okay.
Yeah. At least people showed up.
Look at the Pelicans. I got people who work with me They don't want to go see a Pelicans game until they play the Lakers, until they play, these big.
Because they're not good.
You can scroll through SeatGeek and you see $12 tickets, $10 tickets, and the Lakers it was $70 tickets.
Right. And so same thing with LSU. Look, I don't bash the fans for not supporting LSU basketball. I wish they would because it's great entertainment.
Well, it's been proven time and again for Louisiana. When the Pelicans are good, they go.
Yeah.
When the Saints are good, you can't find a seat.
Well, if you win.
When LSU is good, they go. Like, look, even if it's not being a serious contender every year, I think this is why people still clamor for Will Wade because of, regardless if the season was going the way you wanted to run, or how good of a coach you may think he is, X to the O's, he put people in the seats because of the way that he did it for LSU basketball. He made you. It became impossible to ignore. He wouldn't let you go silently into the night. It was, this guy cares so much, and it's all on his sleeve. Like, I'll ride with that guy.
So I'll give you a little back information. So very close with Will Wade when Will Wade was here. When he got fired, very, very upset about it. Got to meet Matt McMahon the day he flew in. Talked to him. Wasn't really interested in getting close to another coach. Kind of standoffish on my part. They went to the Bahamas, I think, that summer to play in Atlantis.
Yeah, some tournament.
Some little tournament, which was my wife, credit to her, she's like, we're going. And I'm like, man, I don't want to go watch men's basketball in the Bahamas. And she goes, no, we're going. We're going. And I'm like, okay. So she and I fly to the Bahamas. Man, we literally land. We get to Atlantis, throw our bags in the room, and we take off because the game was getting ready to start. We go to the game. We see the game. We beat the Bohemian team or whatever team we were playing. I mean, those guys look like they were 35, but we beat them. And so, the next day, we're off the next day. The team's off the next day. So we go to the bar, have a few drinks. I wind up not eating dinner that night. I wind up drinking my dinner. I wind up having most of the coaches and their wives and their families were with us most of the night. The next day, we're out by the pool, my wife and I get a cabana. And so I said, I see Coach McMahon and his wife and a couple of the coaches. I said, why don't y'all come hang out with us in a cabana? And this is when I really got close to Matt McMahon. And so we're sitting there having a few drinks and talking. And, the Atlanta, anybody knows the Atlanta, she got this big, I don't know what they call it, the Cove. The Cove is the building you're in, but there's a area of the ocean you can get in that's protected. So he and I go sit out in the ocean, and we're drinking beer. And I think Coach Long was with us. Coach Moore was with us, who's no longer here. And so he and I are kind of sitting there talking. And I said, man, why did you come to LSU? And he said, to be honest with you, he goes, when I was a little kid, growing up in Tennessee, I loved LSU. I loved following LSU basketball. And so when I got the call, he said, he actually only had 2 hours or an hour and a half to make the decision. Yeah. He was going to take another job in the SEC. And he said, my agent calls me and says, look, contract's on you at your house, on your thing. They're sending a plane as soon as you sign this. And so we talked, and I really got, and it was probably 3 hours and a lot of beers. And at the time, he was drinking Michelob Ultra. He doesn't drink right now. I think he doesn't drink during the season. And I looked at him and I said, Coach, this was like, it was raw. There was nobody around. And I said, I know I didn't give you a fair shot. And so now I'm all in. I'm all in again. I'm going to put, look, what happened to Will is what happened to Will. I still talk to Will all the time. I text him. I'll follow his games. You can be friends with more than one person, or America. Right, you don't have to, just because a guy gets fired or you don't like what he did or what he was alleged doing. And so I did. And from that day forward, I can have really, really candid conversations with Matt McMahon. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's genuine. He truly cares about, whether you believe it or not, he cares about LSU basketball. He wants to win. Mm-hmm. His family loves it here. And so it like I said, when you get emotionally invested in these programs, it's hard when you see this stuff going on. Yeah. And it's inevitable. Yeah. I think somebody, I don't know who said it, I don't know if it was Beamer or somebody said, the day you get hired is just one day closer to you being fired. Yeah. And that's, it's college athletics.
It's the business of it. Yep.
And it's really changed. So you go back to Trent Johnson age, you go back to the Johnny Jones, the Will Wade area. College athletics has changed because there's so much money being pumped into it.
Right.
I mean, this is, and everybody thinks, oh, we got to change the portal, we got to do this. Congress has to do this. I don't know that Congress is going to step in because whether people believe it or not, there's some big money people behind a lot of this.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of this. Like, they're thinking that college football will wind up being the G League of the NFL.
They want to be first.
And so
imagine if you could join, if right now if you could reverse time and go, when the NFL started, would you like to be interested? That's how they're looking at it.
I mean, what did Tom Benson buy the Saints for? $88 million?
Not much.
And now
Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for.
Yeah, I mean, now it's worth, $3-4 billion.
Right.
And, like I said, it's a business. It's turned into a business.
Yep.
It's turned into a business. And I think you're going to see this landscape continuously change
100%.
over the next 3 to 5 years.
I think it's shortened timelines. As a coach, you don't get as long because there's money being invested, and with the transfer portal, regardless of what your roster looked like last year, it's going to look a whole lot different in a year. So I think that has that's shortened timelines on coaching careers.
And just to give some perspective, Kentucky team that was on that court. Kentucky, I think, spent $22 million on their basketball team, on this basketball team.
They spent a lot of money.
And I think it's 22. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a lot.
No, yeah.
And LSU spent 9.
Yeah.
And you almost beat a $22 million team, if that was the number.
That's the most out of any team in college basketball,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
spent
Yeah,
the
they
most.
did what LSU did in football this year.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the problem?
That didn't work out too well.
Yeah, is it the
And
players?
then-
Is it coach? Yeah, it's like, let's throw all of our money at it because we really don't have anything else. We're Kentucky basketball. It's all people know.
Right.
And it doesn't work. And then guess what? They'll do it again next year. But they tried to do what LSU did. Like, what's the problem?
And LSU basketball last year spent $1.9 to $2 million. They go to $9 million. And I don't, like I
And
said,
you're still getting doubled up.
And I'm telling you, I think LSU at $9 million is like 13th or 14th in the league in spending in the SEC. Like you said, you're basing on. Listen, you can throw as much money. Clearly, you can throw as much money as you want. Doesn't mean it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
And so it's a gamble. It's an investment. And sometimes investments go south.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Because ultimately, what you're trying to pay for is wins. You're trying to pay for wins, and so whenever those don't come, we saw it in football. When the wins don't come, the money stops, or they
stop going to games.
Yeah,
that's where LSU men's basketball is. If you win, they'll go.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you are right now.
And that's
They're
where
not winning, so people aren't going. They don't. I would say it's becoming the one thing you're scared of if you're a college coach.
Apathetic.
Yes, when people stop really knowing that you're on TV or the game's today, that's when you're in a bad spot, and that's usually when you get fired.
Yeah.
And to me, if or when the change is made for this job to be attractive to whoever's next, there's got to be a commitment to the spending on because that's just like with football, like with Kiffin.
Yeah, you have to have this conversation.
You talked about it when he was at the press conference. He was like, well, one of the things that kind of set LSU apart not only was the brand and everything, it was like they laid out this plan of how the money's going to be spent and how much I'm going to get on the roster. Not as much my contract, but the roster.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be in every sport.
And I think he did say that. He didn't care about his contract.
Right.
He cared more about what are you going to give me in NIL to go build a roster. And look, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and people will laugh and say, well, these coaches are getting paid. They're going to be okay. Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to be okay. If Matt McMahon gets fired, he's going to get paid, whatever they owe him. And look, it's a business. And unfortunately, it's just the world we live in now.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. Like, look, I think kids should be paid. I think the market should be adjusted, or there should be some kind of cap.
Right.
I mean, there's ways to do this, and you just get. I mean, look, I'm going to tell you this, and I know this for a fact. Private equity groups. A guy, Cohen, who owns the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other guy? There's a group of guys, billionaires, Larry Ellison.
Right.
They're looking into taking over college football because they feel like there's so much money in this TV contract that's being left on the table. I think the SEC said you can add 2 more teams but your rev share is going to be the same.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any more money. And so you might get a little bit more, but it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. And so it's all about money.
It's dangerous
all about,
because they're very good at making it for themselves.
Correct.
That's what private equity is.
Correct.
Like, how much money can I make off of this? But there's a reason that they want to get involved. They see the market, and it's, we'll give you money up front because I know you don't have it. You're spending all this on your budget, and you're not making any money.
But here's the thing. I want it, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to do it my way. And so you got to be careful with this. Look, I don't know if you're going to stop it, but it's coming.
Yeah.
It's
Utah already did it. They got a $500 million investment.
Yeah, I mean, you
from
got
private equity.
Yeah.
So I'll own your little whatever part that I think is worth $500 million. I'll take some of that, your stadium, your uniform,
whatever it is,
and then if it keeps going well, I'll keep buying more. You're like,
it's like stocks. It's like stocks. If I want to buy a company, I'm going to start buying blocks of shares, and then until I get enough, and then I'm going to go, okay, it's time to get rid of the CEO or whatever I choose to do. And for me, it's sad watching this college athletics change. I know a lot of fans have left college athletics because they feel like it's a business, and unfortunately, that's the life we live.
Well, and the funny thing, you bring up Utah. One of the interesting cases there, A.J. DeBonsa, the number one player out of high school, he's he'll be one of the top 2 picks in the draft. He goes from St. Sebastian's in Massachusetts to Prolific Prep in California for sophomore year, junior and senior year. He goes to Utah Prep in Utah, ends up at BYU, and one of the top 2 picks in the draft is going to end up being the Utah Jazz, right?
Right.
So it's like it's all connected.
There's no two ways about it. Big money is pulling the strings.
It's almost the Jazz going, we want this guy, so we're gonna we'll move mountains, make things work to make sure he ends up.
Do you know who owns the Utah Jazz? Ryan Smith, a younger guy. Do you know where he went to college?
BYU. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what he just did? I don't care very much about BYU and the Utah Jazz.
Right.
It'd be nice to have a good player, maybe the best player.
And so not only
I'll
does he
move
end
him
up
to
at
4
BYU,
different schools.
He goes to high school for his junior and senior year in Utah. Ends up at BYU.
And by the time he,
it doesn't take much to
what's the
figure it
player's
out.
name?
A.J. DeBonsa.
You're already in his pocket when he moved you to Utah and paid for 2 years of your school. It's like you're going to BYU.
You have no choice.
Right.
You have no choice.
And so that's a great move by Ryan. So you talk about people that care. He cares about his alma mater. He cares about the Utah Jazz, and he just bought a hockey team. Like, this is how he's choosing to make his money.
Is there money in hockey?
There is. Not a whole lot, but there is.
I think it's because if you look at the margins of hockey, it's getting a lot more publicized, but the players' contracts aren't going up at all.
Right. Yeah.
It's insane how little money they make. And so now, they signed a new TV deal with ESPN, so there's money to be made if you bring in a new franchise.
And so that's what I think is going to happen. I think private equity is going to buy up.
Yeah.
I know that's what's being looked at. I mean, look, Elon Musk could buy every NFL team, every Major League Baseball team, and still have a ton of money. And so you grab a group of these guys, these billionaires, and look, billionaires is starting to become a common thing now. It's
inflation.
Multi-billionaires, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And so you get guys like Larry Ellison, the Cohen guy. You get these guys are going to.
What's the guy at Houston? What's his name?
Campbell.
Fertitta.
Tillman Fertitta. Yeah. I mean, look, these guys aren't stupid. Obviously, they know what they're doing, and look, I call them sharks because when they see it, they go get it, and then but when you cave to it, it's over with.
Yeah,
it's over with. Look, if somebody came in and offered LSU $3 billion or $5 billion, one, if you're LSU, you got to go, let me think about this here, But then, do they control all the tickets?
Right.
And then so, I've heard so many years, the cost is getting out of control for tickets. Families can't. Well, if private equity gets into it, a suite on a 50-yard line is not going to be $100,000.
No.
It's going to be $6, $7, $8, $10 million a year.
Right.
I mean, look what the Allegiant Stadium suites are going for. And so you just have to be careful, And look, I don't know the right answer. I don't I don't play in that world. I'm nowhere close to those guys. And so, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
It'll be interesting to watch because it is and that's kind of what we spent like the first hour of the show talking about was it's an ever developing world. Like it's changing every day. Every time you go to sleep and you wake up, it's different than it was the day before, and it's only going to continue.
So one of my favorite movies is Draft Day. And Kevin Costner says, we live in a different world we did 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And that is literally what it is.
That's what it is.
You know, I mean, look, even gymnastics girls are getting NIL money.
Right.
Did anybody ever think of that? Women's softball. I mean, next thing you know.
There's a tiger girl that gets NIL. Like, there's a cheerleader that gets NIL,
Yeah, I mean, so everybody. And look, you know, hats off to them, I guess. I don't know. I'm not getting paid like
Right.
that.
Yeah, me neither.
So, you know. It's going to be interesting.
We appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you, guys. I
Fellas,
appreciate it.
Of course. We'll close out this morning. We'll be back tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday.
8
to 10 a.m. We'll see you then.